And it's a home run of a show. Welcome on in to the Brag Gators Gauntlet. I'm Bordy McBoard. Joining alongside me is Captain Atsoka. And we are here at the top of the first all the way to the bottom of the ninth to get our show started with some Fortnite action to lead on into the exciting matchup between the Florida Gators and the Alabama Crimson Tide in a baseball affair. But we'll talk about that a little bit later. Right now, we're going to see some excellent Fortnite action. Again, we are here to celebrate a partnership between the Florida Gators and Brag House and Learfield as well. So that's why we're going to see exciting Fortnite action. I know, Cap, you're excited, especially because not only are we combining esports, but also the joy of baseball, which I know is a favorite of yours.
Oh, absolutely. I love baseball. I played baseball for 13 years. Came up through like the Little League World Series, played in high school. It was all good and gravy, baby. I absolutely loved it. So now we're going to be combining Fortnite with some baseball. So just to go over exactly the type of verbiage that we're going to be using today, well, I'll tell you what, we'll cover that a little bit more later. We'll go into detail, but just know it's going to be fun. It's going to be great. Again, it's going to be, especially if you're a baseball fan. But with that being said, I cannot wait to get into this today because we have a great format for you. Of course, it's going to be $1,500 in prizing for the Brag Gators Gauntlet. And every elim you get is going to be one strikeout. That's 1 point. A 3-time strikeout is that you earn 1 extra point for every 3 elims. So every 3 elims, guess what? You get 1 more for that 3 strikeout. Grand Slam is when you earn 4 points for a victory royale. So victory royales are grand slams. And a home run is when you earn 15 points for placing top 25 across all 4 heats. And the lobby cap, we're going to keep it at 100 players. So we're going to have ourselves full lobbies, a whole lot of action, a whole lot of limbs. And my goodness, this one is going to be a packed day. All 4 heats going to be running through today.
Yeah, normally you don't want the strikeout, at least if you're the top heavy hitter. But in this case, you absolutely want to get as many strikeouts and home runs as possible. Cap ain't capping. We are going to have to cap the lobbies at 100 players because we have so many players here. And again, $15,000, and well, $1,500, I apologize, in prizing. And let me break that down for you as well. First place, $1,000 in scholarships. Second place, $300, and third place, $200. Plenty of prizes, plenty of surprises, plenty of top hitters and heavy hitters, whether we're talking about a little bit later for, of course, the UF and Bama game, or whether we talk about the games that we are going to be seeing leading on to our first heat, which is upcoming soon. And Cap, we already broke down the prizes. I like the fact that it stacks too. Not only we are getting into the baseball theme as well, but we're also stacking these prizes. It's one thing to get 1 elim, but if you stack your elims, if you get 3 a pair, then you get a bonus point, and then grand slams too, just coming in the top 25. That also allows you some points. Plenty of point opportunities going on here today.
Yeah, at the end of the day, it's going to be going to the person who is able to do both. Like, you can't just rely on your limbs, and you really just can't rely on victory royales or grand slams. You got to get a little bit of the best of both worlds. There are plenty of opportunities to get points for different play styles. That's what I really like about it. But speaking of winning prizes, again, we have the first, second, third place scholarships up for grabs, but the folks at home get a chance to try and win a little cash themselves. Exclamation point raffle. If you do exclamation point raffle, you will be eligible to win $250 by doing the command. Again, the viewers, must be in the Discord in order to be eligible. So make sure that you join the Discord. Make sure you do exclamation point raffle. And again, we also have a lot of brags up for grabs. For if you do the brags for this event, and you participate and you stay tuned during the broadcast, you can find out if your brags are correct for a chance to win $250.
Absolutely. I cannot emphasize this enough as we go ahead and we look at our first brag right here. How many points will the Grand Slam Victory Royale winner get of the first heat? That's a good question. Under 10 or over 10? Please go to braghouse.com to make sure that you can sign up. enter in. Make sure you're submitting your brags, and if we're feeling the under and whether we're feeling the over. I'm gonna ask you, Cap, right now. Of course, we don't know what's going on when it comes to these gamers. We haven't seen them yet, but initial vibe check. Do you feel like we're gonna have some shooters around here, right? Or some people who are gonna hit it out the park, heavy hitters that might end up getting the over or maybe under?
Now, don't get me wrong, I think we're going to have some heavy hitters, but let me break it down to you this way. This isn't like past events where we kind of had like a half stack lobby at like 30 to 50 players, okay? This is a 100 stack lobby. That means, one, there's a lot of limbs up for grabs. However, it's going to be hard to survive that long with 100 other players gunning for your top, right? So this is what I'm thinking. And you know what? I think this will be fun as well. We should pick our own over-under, like how we decide, and see what the chat goes with. Are you going to side with Cap? Are you going to side with Bordy? Or, side with both of us? Let's see how it goes. Because personally, going into this, I think we're going to see under 10. I'm going with the under.
Oh, we're going with the under here. And let me make a clarification, guys. The brags have already been submitted, right? So I like that. A little bit of a mix-up, right? In order for you guys to participate not only with the raffle, but then you also have going with Team Bordy, going with Team Cap, or maybe Team Casters or against Team Casters, right? You know what? For this first one, I haven't seen the competition. I'll correct it. Maybe I'll be familiar with their game a little bit later, but I'll go with the under with you. So are you with Team Casters or are you against Team Casters? Let us know in the chat right here. And hey, if you end up winning and you end up going against us and getting the dub too, hey, brag against us, okay? Go ahead and get those bragging points, whether it be for real on the Brag House website or whether it be in person in your own edification, right? But of course, we're loading on up for our first heat of action. We already discussed the format, and we have full lobbies too. So especially going with this, I like this. We have a lot of different things confluencing right here. We're getting the full Fortnite map, which we know has some Star Wars vibes, but then we also have the baseball themes as well. Cap, I feel like this is perfect for you. Like, if we were to like make a game or make an event that was for you. I know you're a catcher back in the day, right? I believe so, right? You're a catcher back in the day. You love yourself some Fortnite, especially the season that we're on here as well, right? I feel like this is meant for you when it comes to this game. The esports action is always for you.
Yeah, don't get me wrong, it's definitely one of my favorite mashups that I've been a part of the desk on, that being, being able to mash up Fortnite with baseball, but also with the newest edition, going all Star Wars theme again for Fortnite has been really, really fun as well, because they have Darth Jar Jar, and if anybody is a Star Wars nerd like me, this is an ongoing theory. I mean, clearly they haven't, followed it throughout any of the movies or the lore, but I'm a firm believer in Darth Jar Jar. I feel like that was the original plan. I feel like that's where they were gonna go. So again, I am all for Darth Jar Jar. I want to see some. I'm wondering if we're actually gonna see a Darth Jar Jar out in action today. So again, a lot to look forward to with all of these different mashups. Again, we got Star Wars, Fortnite, and of course we got baseball. So again, it's a good day. It's a good day for the whole family.
It's a good day for a good family too. And of course, we have to get to the other side of the equation. Of course, we're doing this in anticipation for the big matchup for the Florida Gators versus the Alabama Crimson Tide here. As soon as we are done with this cast, boom, go ahead and make sure you turn on your televisions to watch an amazing battle between these two. I mean, I guess we're a little bit biased. We have this activation not only with Learfield and the Florida Gators, but also too, man, SEC country runs deep, and I feel like even though I'm a little bit closer to Bama when it comes to geography wise, hey man, those Gators, they're hooping, they're playing well, and all of this is in anticipation, right, for the upcoming SEC baseball championship. The Gators didn't win their last game, but could go ahead and win this next game. So there's a lot of pride on the line, not only for these Gators, but these upcoming schools as well. This is a season of winning, and we hope that we stack wins in any regard.
Yeah, absolutely. Again, I'm going to try and keep my opinions to myself when it comes to the SEC. Don't get me wrong, best conference there is. However,
it matters more.
I'm just saying, with this upcoming game, between, Bama and, of course, the Gators, I'm just going, Yeah, I'm gonna go with the Gators on that one. And that's the most I'm gonna say on it, because don't get me wrong, I can go about the Crimson Tide at the Elephants and Bama as well, you know, but I'm gonna stick with the Gators on this one. I'm gonna say yeah, Gators all day. But with that being said, because you know, Bordy, I'm an LSU boy myself, you know. I mean,
yeah. Torn in between the two. It's picking against both of your rivals, huh?
Yeah, no, for me it's a clear choice, but like I said, we're gonna keep that, you know, where it is, because then we're gonna start a whole debate, you know, an SEC debate. But you know, we're gonna keep it Fortnite for now, and then we'll let the baseball people settle it later when they decide to start the baseball game. But with that being said, we are going to take a quick break, but don't forget to try and participate in those giveaways. You must join the Discord in order to participate in the giveaways, so that way you can do exclamation point raffle. Remember, you have to be in the Discord to do that, and don't forget to get your brags in as well at Brag House on the website. Make sure that you're getting your brags in as well. We're gonna take a quick short break, but don't you worry, because we will be right back with more of the Brag Gators Gauntlet right after this.
For it.
Creme de la creme going at it.
We have to send a huge shout out to McDonald's, Coca-Cola, Brag House, and Thurgood Marshall's College Fund for collaborating and putting together an amazing opportunity to shine a well-deserved spotlight for HBCU gamers. As you guys know, black representation in the game community is important for the future of the sport, and we look forward to seeing more HBCU gamers and diverse talent taking it to the next level in the future.
Today, we want to thank our partners for making this happen and send congratulations to our 3 lucky winners and the entire HBCU community. Brag on.
What's up, everybody? This is FaZe J2 from FaZe Clan. Me and the rest of the team want to send a warm congratulations to the grand champions of the first ever McDonald's Black and Positively Golden Gamers, presented by Coca-Cola HBCU Tournament.
It won't be enough to outlive Drea's daddy. We'll get the elimination for Wixu. I told you already, Just Low is just different.
Props to you for crushing it and taking home the trophy and a $15,000 scholarship.
It's a wonderful time to be alive.
That felt like it was out of an action movie.
In the past few months, Brag House, McDonald's, and Coca-Cola have come together to shine a light on historically black colleges and universities and provide a stage for black gamers to compete on. With over 140 signups, students from 30 plus HBCU schools across the nation competed for bragging rights and a chance to win a $15,000 scholarship.
Being a student, I got student loans.
It would actually help out like my family a lot, because like right now, like they have to work a lot so that they can pay for it.
Creme de la creme going at it.
We have to send a huge shout out to McDonald's, Coca-Cola, Brag House, and Thurgood Marshall's College Fund for collaborating and putting together an amazing opportunity to shine a well-deserved spotlight for HBCU gamers. As you guys know, black representation in the game community is important for the future of the sport, and we look forward to seeing more HBCU gamers and diverse talent taking it to the next level in the future.
Today, we want to thank our partners for making this happen and send congratulations to our 3 lucky winners and the entire HBCU community. Brag on.
What's up, everybody? This is FaZe J2 from FaZe Clan. Me and the rest of the team want to send a warm congratulations to the grand champions of the first ever McDonald's Black and Positively Golden Gamers, presented by Coca-Cola HBCU Tournament.
It won't be enough to outlive Drea's daddy. We'll get the elimination for Wixu. I told you already, Just Low is just different.
Props to you for crushing it and taking home the trophy and a $15,000 scholarship.
It's a wonderful time to be alive.
That felt like it was out of an action movie.
In the past few months, Brag House, McDonald's, and Coca-Cola have come together to shine a light on historically black colleges and universities and provide a stage for black gamers to compete on. With over 140 signups, students from 30-plus HBCU schools across the nation competed for bragging rights and a chance to win a $15,000 scholarship.
Being a student and all, I got student loans.
It would actually help out like my family a lot because like right now like they have to work a lot so that they can pay for it.
Creme de la creme going at it.
We have to send a huge shout out to McDonald's, Coca-Cola, Brag House, and Thurgood Marshall's College Fund for collaborating and putting together an amazing opportunity to shine a well-deserved spotlight for HBCU gamers. As you guys know, black representation in the game community is important for the future of the sport, and we look forward to seeing more HBCU gamers and diverse talent taking it to the next level in the future.
Today, we want to thank our partners for making this happen and send congratulations to our 3 lucky winners and the entire HBCU community. Brag on.
What's up, everybody? This is FaZe J Swing from FaZe Clan. Me and the rest of the team want to send a warm congratulations to the grand champions of the first ever McDonald's Black and Positively Golden Gamers, presented by Coca-Cola HBCU Tournament.
It won't be enough to outlive Dre's daddy. We'll get the elimination for Wixu. I told you already, Just Low is just different.
Props to you for crushing it and taking home the trophy and a $15,000 scholarship.
It's a wonderful time to be alive.
That felt like it was out of an action movie.
In the past few months, Brag House, McDonald's, and Coca-Cola have come together to shine a light on historically black colleges and universities and provide a stage for black gamers to compete on. With over 140 signups,
You need to respect the old before you bring in the new, okay? And Seaside Pirates, they're looking for a new Elam right now. Hasn't done a lot right here as we approach the second storm, closing on in very early. At least they have some splashes and squirts to their name as well, but they can improve their gun game. They do have a long range and a short range item. Looks like they're really packing and funneling in on health, going ahead and using their gold bars. Well, to see what was in that vending machine, doesn't end up getting anything though.
Yeah, I was about to say, you know, I mean, especially when it comes terms of Fortnite, like I'm as OG can get. Like I was around when Fortnite was supposed to be a PvE game and the Battle Royale was just like a side feature. Like the Battle Royale of Fortnite was just a side feature.
It was just like, hey, you know, you can just add this because it's cool. And then it ended up being the main mode. Mr. Gritty Gut was the main fragger. And it looks like, unlike last game, they're getting back to action.
Yep, they certainly are. Again, they are the top frag, if I'm not mistaken. They should have the most strikeouts here so far in the tournament. But now they got to get the placement points done. Like, don't get me wrong, Mr. Giddy Gut, they've been going absolutely nutty when it comes to... Also, this is another Rocket League vehicle. You might not have noticed it.
No,
but this is actually the... This is the Backfire. This was one of my original main vehicles when playing Rocket League, and even in the precursor Supersonic Acrobatic Rocket Power Battle Cars. This is the vehicle that is known as the Backfire. Now, with that being said, continuing back with Fortnite, you know I gotta hit the gamer knowledge, okay? Because believe it or not, gamer history is actually a thing now. Gaming has been around long enough that there is a history to it.
As somebody who is head of a retro video game podcast, I know all about those Supersonic battle cars.
Where's my invite? Where's my invite at? When do I get to be on the show?
Dude, we haven't loaded up in a while, but as soon as we load up again, I'll let you know, because you know we love the retro. Okay, Dreamcast nerd. I have a Dreamcast.
Plethora of gamer history.
I have a Dreamcast underneath my bed right now. That's how much I love retro video games. And right now, Greedy Guys is going back to the retro tactic. Just get in the passenger seat and just start blasting right there with their shotty blaster.
That's so funny. It's like, yeah, my dream catcher is a Dreamcast. we're not the same. And look, they got the Borderlands Psycho. They have the Borderlands Psycho skin, and honestly, I I really want to boot up Fortnite just like right after this match, just so that way I can go after this skin if it's still available. I don't even know if it's still available. I just love the Borderlands Psycho figure so much. I think again, it's just so iconic.
It's such a cheeky game. I really need to get into it because I love funny games, love cheeky games. Gritty Gut also is known for having a cheeky game because they always go after people in their cars. We'll see what happens at the end of this chase down right here. It's a buddy cop movie film chase down, and guess what? They didn't last very long, unfortunately. But I do say that I really love the retros, and it's just worked out. It's worked out a lot.
Yeah, and that's another thing I like about Borderlands. Like, you know, we talk about, like, you know, the funny, you know, the game style, but the thing that stands out to me the most with Borderlands is the artwork, the art style. It's very, like, heavy ink outline, like comic book style, and that's what I really like about Borderlands.
Yeah, that's what I love about them and the Telltale games, the Telltale Heart. Guess what? You're always hearing the heart, the movement, the beat that Mr. Giddy Gut is putting on the lobby's pulse. It doesn't matter what shield forces they have, they come and they're a force in their own right. Online Pickles gets knocked out because they were in a pickle, in a bind, and even this Dark Sith Lord with another one right next to them, I don't think they're gonna walk away with this in good force.
Where the heck did Vader come from? From the top rope? Like, where did they come from? Where did they go? Cotton Eye Joe. What happened? What was that? Was that like a bot that was like helping that other player? Like, was that an NPC Vader? I'm so confused right now.
No, he saw the fact that they had the red lightsaber going on. And it was like, oh, okay, you're part of the Sith crew. Let's go. And we're like, let me help out my Sith friend. And unfortunately, I doubt they did any type of help. I mean, they did push him away for a second, but that was only for a second. Mr. Giddy Gut, I mean, he's like Thanos. He's undeniable right there, you know?
Well, I mean, Vader's gone. You know, the easy come, easy go Vader is no more. But
where did he go? Not there.
Yeah, continuing on now, you can see Mr. Giddy Gut finds themselves another target. I mean, they got 7 strikeouts already, 2 3-time strikeouts, so they're currently sitting on 8 total points. I mean, Mr. Giddy Gut, again, wouldn't be surprised unless Besset unless Besset M1 comes away with another grand slam. I just don't see anybody topping Giddy Gut. I mean, they are literally the top frag.
They're the top frag, and they're doing it so well. And, you know, you do get an additional points. You get 4 points for going ahead and getting the crown. You do get the Grand Slam, and that's great to your name. But if you have somebody stacking 10 eliminations, and let's remember, too, you get bonus points for every 3 eliminations that you get, it's going to be hard to go against Mr. Giddy Gut. Only 2 additional points because they have 2 intervals of 3 to their name with 7 total eliminations. So you have 9 points right now. They're going for more. The Banana Man right now, outside of their element. Don't get into the car. That's Mr. Giddy Gut's favorite place to be on a road trip. And guess what? I hope you got to pack in because you're going to be traveling to the lobby.
I mean, we're looking at Mr. Giddy Gut. Every time, it seems like every time that we come to spectate Mr. Giddy Gut, they have more elimination points. They have more EP, they're getting more strikeouts, and they're just having themselves a field day. I don't even know if they care about placements or not. Like, I don't even know if they're going for the Grand Slam.
Yeah.
I think they're just here to collect bodies.
Bodies. And this isn't
great movie, by the way.
Oh man, it is a great movie too, right? But Mr. Giddy Gut is literally just chasing after it and is not scared, not like the you know, shout out to the Bodies movie. Not just hiding away, not being cheeky, hiding their hand. They're going for the elims because they know there's heck of value in that. And right now, they're chasing after elims so fiercely. The other players are using their shockwave grenades, not just to make sure that they can get away from them, but that Mr. Giddy Gut just gets forced out of their positioning. It's crazy. You don't see that often.
Yeah, speaking of seeing things, I'm seeing the next brag right underneath Mr. Giddy Gut here. How many points with the Grand Slam Victory Royale winner of heat number 3? This heat, how many total points will they have? I'm going, again, I got to go with the over just because we're so far in. I mean, you're looking at, you know, Besset M1, you know, they were in the lead and they were already close to, if not at 20, and now, you know, Mr. Giddy Gut You know, they're at 20 currently. I mean, if not more. No, it's more than 20. It is more than 20.
It's more than 20, and I have a feeling that this next highlight reel is just going to be the Mr. Giddy Gut show because some of the plays that they've made are certified insane. You have some people flying on in from outside the storm to get into the circle. I hope that they don't end up eventually getting into Mr. Giddy Gut, because if they do, then ooh-wee, they're in for a heck of a player, and that's somebody I don't want to see at the other end of taking some damage from the storm. Right now, the pumped up power, just Kashgara pumped up a lot of their points in the last matchup. Let's see if they can knock their next person out the park. Instead, it looks like they ended up getting struck out.
Yep, as they continue on here. And you know what? I want to ask you about the Brag. Like, where do you sit on it? I'm picking the over. So I want to know, you know, for heat number 3, do you think that our Grand Slam winner is going to have under 20 points or over 20 points? I'm going with the over.
You know what? I'm saying the total points will go with the over 2. That's another strikeout. You're out of here, baby. Mr. Giddy Gut doing it again. But yeah, I'm going with the over 2. I like to risk it for the biscuit, all right? And the way and the tear that Mr. Giddy Gut is going on, it seems like, you know, the risk reward strategy doesn't always work out. In this case, I feel like it is. They're on a mission, and right now they feel like the Terminator. They will be back. And not only back to the lead, but honestly walk away with the crown too. I feel like they're just going to do a tear and get as many Ks as possible. Ks, if you don't know the baseball world, that's a strikeout.
Yeah, also do not forget in the chat to hit ! raffle to join the raffle, so that way you can get your piece, well, at least try to get your piece of $250. I mean, we got some giveaways going, so don't forget ! raffle in the chat to participate in those giveaways, so that way you can get your piece of the pie. $250 up for grabs. Don't forget to get your piece. To get your winnings here, remember ! raffle in chat as we continue on. Mr. Giddy Gut having a field day.
You can go ahead and get your run. A little ominous laughs going on here as well. Hopefully it's not from
Sidious.
Yeah, hopefully it's not from any Bama players, right? You know, obviously Bama, there's plenty more Florida Gators in this shot, and they feel quite insidious if they end up going away with their first victory crown of the matchup. But it's looking like right now Mr. Giddy Gut's just trying to take a handle on their opponent, and they're really good at tracking and understanding how their crosshairs line up to where the bullets of their players are going. That's so distracting.
That sounded like Darth Tyrannus, otherwise known as Count Dooku. It probably wasn't. It probably wasn't, but that's just what I thought of when I heard that last one.
Well, guess what? I'm a little bit scared. It's like right in my ear too, in order to make sure that I can hear all the cues from Prod. Right now, Giddy Gut, don't do the thing that you've been doing the whole time. They're trying to go ahead and steal another elimination. Run the bases. Right now, Giddy Gut though. It looked like maybe Slug might be able to go ahead and bug his way out that situation. Didn't happen though, Cap.
Yeah, honestly, you could tell Mr. Giddy Gut has played against many other lightsaber players before. They knew how to read the lightsaber perfectly. Again, they were just gonna let their opponent like dodge roll themselves out, and as soon as they stood still, they hit them with the shoddy. So again, this is a player that definitely has experiences against like every single type of weaponry in this game. They knew exactly how to respond to that lightsaber player.
I'm so glad we are outside of the circle to where we hear the man in my going on. Hilarious. But don't need it anymore. And a lot of traversal for our good friend and Mr. Giddy Gut. But I'm glad that we don't have to traverse our way through another growl in my ear. We're by the Mosses right here, all the way by the Pump City. And we'll see what's happening as we're approaching our 6th circle. Only 10 players remaining. There are a lot more in a lot closer circle. But it looks like a lot of these elims have come from the hand of the man in black. But one death trying to get their get back and get back to the top of the pack.
And you can see we're looking at two completely different play styles. So we're not completely different. Again, you know, we're watching Mr. Giddy Gut, you know, get a lot of eliminations. I mean, they're not necessarily playing for placement. I mean, they are getting up there. I mean, they're in the top 10 currently, but they're getting a lot of the points from, you know, the strikeouts, and they're getting plenty of strikeouts. There goes another one. I mean, Mr. Giddy Gut takes the wind out of the sails of that former player. I think it was Seaside Pirates. And now we're down to our final 7 here. Mr. Giddy got up, you know, up in the top 7. But they've been mostly focused on the strikeouts. That's their play style. Meanwhile, you're looking at One Death, and One Death has just been playing for placement. You know, they're going for the grand slams. They're trying to get those big placement points. So again, just two different play styles.
We have somebody who's going for the strikeouts, right? You know, they want to make sure that they're going ahead and getting their opponents out of here. We have somebody who would rather just, you know, let's do ball. Let's go ahead and hit them with some balls, walk them maybe, and then guess what? We'll go ahead and get them out at the bases, which we love to see right now in tough places. Still able to go ahead and slide their way on home and pack out their opponent. Mr. Giddy Gut, they may be looking in the eye of the storm, but guess what? They're the wrecking force you need to worry about.
Yeah, and on that play, again, it's just dangerous to try and play inside of the storm without any type of recovery utility. Again, you didn't like not having the first aid kit or, you know, any type of jug or any shields. But with that being said, Mr. Giddy Gut now on the receiving end of a lot of damage will be eliminated, but they made it into the top 5. Speaking of One Death, still very much alive in this one, looking to get their second grand slam of the day if they can hold out and take out just 3 more players.
Dare I say, Mr. Giddy Gut felt like a fish out of water there, getting packed out in the water, unfortunately, not in their element to where they had the high ground. They actually had an eye on their target. Instead, they were running away and getting chased. Unfortunately, if you're getting chased in the bases and you're not a fast player, guess what? Somebody's going to come and knock you out. Wizard Candy, for the first time, being in this top 5 that we're seeing, and it looks like they are going ahead and cracking the bat, swinging at it, but hopefully they don't end up getting packed out. Gonna have to go ahead and use their shock nade to reposition right here.
Yeah, and they got their little buddy right there, so that way they can get more shields and fully recover here with 4 strikeouts to the name. 1 3-time strikeout, so that's an extra point for them with a total of 5. And now the circle to be moving closer and closer in just under 30 seconds as we are making out our top 4. So far, we do have One Death. We got Wizard Candy, has a player in their sights looking to get the limb. I do believe they are cracked and they have to take cover behind that vehicle. Looking a little worse for wear here.
Yeah, I'm sorry. There's action going on. But look at that little guy in your back right there. Not only are they a great utility, as they're going in and heal you, and out of soup, literally got out of the lobby just because they were in the storm. You can't do that when you're in one tick, especially as we're approaching these last couple storms. Well, Wizard Candy end up being the wizard to knock out One Death out the park. It looks like they're going for the gold, but right now they sold. One Death survives.
Yeah, One Death looking to take their second grand slam here, and this will be pretty impressive because now they also have a good amount of strikeouts to their name. I mean, they got 2 3-time strikeouts. Tubular Wiz on the other end with 2 strikeouts of their own, and I gotta tell you, you know, honestly, whether or not I think One Death takes the grand slam, this is still going to be a big game for them because it is a second place finish. But if they do take the grand slam, that will be their second of the day, and they could possibly be a contender for that #1 spot in the total leaderboard.
And those 15 big ones that we're talking about, the grand slam, making sure you are finishing in the final 25 each time in these heats by staying alive. And guess who will thrive? One Death slides on home. It secures another victory royale.
Yep, a big old grand slam coming from One Death in order to take an extra 4 points on top of their strikeouts, 3-time strikeouts, and getting a lot of points there up on the leaderboard. A fantastic performance. And you know what's great is later on we're going to be able to get yet another interview, I assume, with One Death. I don't know if we're gonna give them a second interview because, you know, they already had one earlier, but if they do, Bordy, you're going to be sitting down with One Death again. You got to interview them the first time, and then you might interview them yet again. But we will see. Maybe we'll give somebody else the mic, but that will be determined shortly. But my goodness, that was a fantastic heat number 3.
One death, 2 interviews? Question mark, question mark? We will see. But as we approach our highlights, I'm assuming that if we don't interview One Death again, it would probably be this person that we are about to see a lot in these highlights. Not Pro Dragon. Shout out to them, though. They were doing well, then they ended up getting outflanked, which unfortunately got them out of here. But it was none other than our good friend, Mr. Giddy Gut. I feel like most of these highlights are just them getting it done.
I think they hit 11, if not 12 eliminations this game.
Wow.
I mean, I kind of lost track of how many strikeouts they had, because you got to keep in mind they're also getting bonus points for having 3-time strikeouts. When you get that 3-time strikeout, you get an extra point for every 3 elims. So let's say if they did hit 12, that's 4 extra points on top of the 12. So they might be able, and again, to take the top spot with just strikeouts alone. They have been the top frag, right? They have gotten the most strikeouts, most 3-time strikeouts, but they have yet to get the grand slam. So I'm wondering, are they going to be able to get the dub with just strikeouts alone? Meanwhile, you got other players like One Death who has won their second victory royale. They got 2 grand slams to their names. This is literally feeling like a competition between strikeouts and grand slams.
And I feel like it's probably an inside the field home run, not just one that they're hitting out of the park if they go ahead and get those 15 points on top of that, because you're not only getting it outside, but also doing it again. You're doubling on up with the home runs. You're like Shohei Ohtani at this point, right? When you have so many different grand slams, you're over here, you're just a top slugger. Aaron Judge, Shohei Ohtani, you're just getting run after run after run. We love to see it, and we love to see them really eat in the competition. It's just Mr. Giddy Gut's world. We're all living in it. Maybe they're like Shohei Ohtani for real, right? They're just getting it out the park all the time. Unfortunately, they ended up getting out the park without a suit there.
Yeah, but they were able to take 13 strikeouts. That's 4 3-time strikeouts. That's 4 extra points. So they got a total of 17. We're looking at One Death here, who is able to finish with 7 strikeouts. That's 2 3-time strikeouts. So let's say they were able to get 2 additional points on top of their 7, being 9. 9 plus 4 being 13. They did not outscore Mr. Giddy Gut in that game.
And the fact that they got eliminated too, I think they're not eligible for the home run thing that we talked about, but maybe, as we talked about earlier, maybe our good friend who ended up winning last game, right, in One Death, maybe they are eligible for that home run situation, which of course kind of changes the ties of everything too, right? It depends on how early these opponents are packed out, and if you're remaining in the top 25 and staying alive. Guess what? We are not going to stay live. I mean, we are staying live here for the competition, but we're not going to end up staying live here. We're going to throw it to an intermission. But before we go, remember, exclamation point, raffle. Okay, guys, make sure that you're in the Discord before you go ahead and announce all the winners. So make sure you're joining the Discord, then going ahead and entering the raffle just to make sure you can earn the prize pickings, $250 here available. You want to make sure you're getting the cashola and hanging out here with me and Cap before the start of the Alabama versus UF game. We're going to take a little break. See you after this one for Heat 4 action. at it again, guys. Better than ever. The Brag Gators Gauntlet. We are going on, moving along, about to have the fourth heat, but we got some heated competition, Cap, and we have to acknowledge that because there's been a lot of interviews that we've done, including a new one, too.
Yep, absolutely. We got to interview One Death earlier on, but because we already got to talk to them and get their interview in, and they got to say their piece, now we have to have a new special guest on the desk to get a little bit of insight. Boardy McBoard, I believe this one's all you.
All right, let's go ahead and transition on to the interview with none other than our good friend, Totally Tubular Dude, Tubular is. Go ahead and tell me a little bit about yourself, what your name, your major is, and what school you're repping to.
I'm from UF. I graduated this year. I majored in psychology. I've been playing Fortnite since 2017, Chapter 1, Season 1. I'm still using the same original Xbox One, so I'm hanging in there.
Hanging in there. I mean, honestly, you're not just hanging in there. You're sticking with it, all right? You're sticking to it, and you've been playing this game for so long. Have you been in tournament scene any time beforehand, or is this the first time really being live in front of camera, in front of Twitch?
First time. I had some people I knew in high school who were into the Fortnite competitive scene, but I've just been a casual up till now.
Did you ever do any runs with them, and has their I guess sagacious advice really rubbed off on you in order to make sure that you went ahead and got second here?
Yeah, I play with them, but I don't know if any of their skills really rubbed off on me. I really got to the place I got to just because I was, being sneaky, hiding, not really getting into many confrontations.
Okay, so I was going to ask you what your strategy is right now going into this competition. Obviously, some players like to chase, right? Some like to camp it out. For you, you're really chasing that home run 15 points. It sounds like you're trying to do, right?
Originally, that was my plan, but unfortunately, I didn't get into the first game due to technical difficulties. So my plan is to try to get a win somehow by sneaking around until the end and having a one-on-one. I had a chance last game, but unfortunately, I went up against, the GOAT, I guess.
The GOAT in One Death. What is it like? What is it like going against these gamers like One Death, like Gritty Gut? I mean, there's a reason why you feel like sneaking around. Is your hope that you end up not seeing them, I guess, later on, that they're already at the competition?
Yeah, that's my plan, to avoid them until the end.
Okay. So just survive, stick around, survive. It's the goal and everything like that. Obviously, there's a lot of money on the line as well. If you end up getting the $1,000, $200, $300, what is your plan to do that? Especially being a recent grad too.
Yeah. If I get any amount of prize money, I guess I'll use it towards buying materials for grad school.
Mm-hmm. Do you plan on going to grad school again at UF, or planning on going somewhere else in the future?
No, I'm doing a master's in philosophy at FSU.
Okay, philosophy. Any goals or any idea as to what you're going to do with that philosophy major quite yet?
For now, the plan is to become to go into a PhD and become like a philosophy professor, researcher.
Ooh, I don't like that. Being a professor, being a researcher, we'd love to see it. And we'd love to see you climb up on the boards. Right now, you're 39th. How do you feel that you're going to flip around your ranking in order to make sure you can get to that scholarship money?
Honestly, I'm surprised I'm even top 50. I only have 2 limbs so far, I think. So I'll clutch it up, I guess.
Hey, Clutch City. That's what you need in order to make sure that you get it here. And before we go, any thoughts on this upcoming Gators versus Alabama baseball matchup that will happen as soon as this tournament is over?
I got my money's in the Gators. We got the national championship with basketball. Some of that luck hopefully rubs off on the baseball team.
Hey man, it's UF season. It's your season, Tubular Wiz. Not only graduation, which congratulations, but also to come in second place, hopefully getting some scholarship money on the way. Before we wrap, any other final thoughts or words you want to share with the public?
I guess to my fellow uh, players in the tournament, watch out for me, I guess.
Watch out. Tubular Wiz totally coming soon here to the top of the leaderboard. Thank you so much, Tubular Wiz. I'll see you later and hopefully see you on the winner circle. We're going to throw it back to me and Cap so we can look at this leaderboard real quick and see what's exactly where everybody is in this ranking. And Cap, we aren't surprised, Mr. Giddy Gut, especially after the last performance, going ahead and knocking it out the park again. 31 total points scored here.
Yeah, honestly, at this rate, we could have an overall winner who has yet to hit a grand slam. They haven't won a single victory royale, but they are leading by nearly 10. They're leading one death by 9 and bested on M1. Bested in on M1. I'm guessing they got eliminated early in that previous round because they have dropped significantly in the leaderboard, but they still have one more heat and then a final heat to try and make up for it. Meanwhile, we're seeing how the rest is shape up, and keep in mind, in order to make it to that final heat, you have to place in the top 50% of these 4 qualifiers.
And you know what? Going back to, of course, our leader, or at least current leader right now, and none other than Mr. Giddy Gut, it's just like the regular baseball, right? Sometimes you don't need to go ahead and hit it out the park. Everybody doesn't need to be a Shohei Ohtani or Aaron Judge in order to make sure that you have your RBI totals up there in the rankings. You can just get a couple base runs, a couple base hits, get a couple of bases, and you never know where you might end up in point totals scored. Druka, somebody we saw sticky 420. We've seen a lot of these. Out of Soup was somebody who lasted very long into this competition as well. So a lot of players that we've seen, obviously players are going to be vying, especially for this last matchup, to be in the top 25. So I'm assuming that we're going to be seeing a lot of ratting strategies, but also too, I feel like because some players are already out of that, we're going to see some chasing. I'm excited to see just exactly how this map is going to be played, because we do have a fifth heat coming up where only the top 50 will be surviving and moving on. So this is do or die time for a lot of these players right now in the 15 to 40 to 60 spot, I'd imagine, because not a lot of point totals really separate them from the pack.
Yeah, this right now is just about, trying to make it into that top 25, right? You want to get that 15 additional points in the 4 heats. That's how you get that additional 15. So that's what we're looking at right now. And Bindu J and Out of Soup currently, in contest for that 25th spot. And that's going to be really, really important because once we go into the final heat, the points reset. So you want to make sure that you get your 15 points before then. So that way you can get a little bit of cushion going into the final heat. But with that being said, getting ready to go into our 4th and final qualifier heat before the points are reset to see how this top 25, and as a matter of fact, how our top 50 is going to shape out as we get ready to head into heat number 4.
Yes, the final heat coming on in, and then we have the final matchup coming in. Brag Gators Gauntlet. We have the baseball game preceding our tournament, of course, UF versus Alabama, in a matchup that will be sure to set the seeding for the upcoming SEC championship. The place I actually just visited the other day, Hoover, Alabama, not too far, 2 hours, 30 minutes away from there. Trust me, it's all out. Matters more there. I can't wait to see some of these teams get at it. And honestly, since we're loading on to the last heat, I can't wait to see some of these gamers go at it as well. A lot of players closing in on Crime City.
And you know what? This is interesting. This is the first time Mr. Gritty Gut hasn't gone with, the black silhouette skin. They're actually going with a default skin here. And I think that's pretty interesting because, again, we've seen Mr. Gritty Gut you know, time and time again, just completely outperform as far as strikeouts are concerned, getting multiple. As a matter of fact, in the last heat, they got 4 3-time strikeouts. And they have just been on every. They have been just dominating, and they've always had the black silhouette skin. So to see them switch up this late in the game, I'm wondering what's going on.
I'm thinking that they know that everybody needs to look out for their skin. So obviously, if everybody needs to look out for their skin, that means that they should switch up their skin, especially going into this next heat. You want to make sure you knock out the top dog, but if you're not exactly sure what that top dog looks like, guess what? That's less heat on your trail. You want to make sure that you can go ahead and survive ultimately. So Mr. Giddy Gut can go ahead and be an egregious fragger, as we're seeing right there. How many points will the Grand Slam Victory Royale winner have at the end of this heat 4 wave? There's an under a 25 and over a 25. I'm feeling a little spicy again. I took the under the first time, but ever since I've been going with the over, and guess what? I'm head over heels, baby. Go ahead and give it to me again.
Yeah, you know what? This is tough. It is really tough because last round we actually cleared with the over because again it was one death that ended up winning, and then they had over 20. We took the over. Oh, but this one's dangerous again because now we're going to 25, and all it takes is one good Ratty Cathy, and all of a sudden you know we're worse for wear. But I'm gonna have to agree with you. I think I'm gonna go with the over here. I'm gonna go with the over 25. It's close. It's really close.
Yeah.
Part of me wants to go with the under. I don't know what I should commit to, the over or the under. I'm still undecided. I'll decide before the match is over. Soon. I'll decide soon.
By the way, shout out Retro Video Game Nerd, Jazz Jackrabbit to see that cabinet in Fortnite. That's one of my favorite old school DOS games. So shout out to that. Shout out to the MS-DOS as well. An OG platformer that was super fun. If you haven't played it before, it's also another cheeky game. So go ahead and do that. But also shout out to Learfield in UF, making sure that this tourney is possible. And shout out to the person that might pack Giddy Gut out of there. In fact, never mind. Pablo tried, but guess what? Mr. Giddy Gut still thrives.
Yep, that they do. Again, big shout outs to Mr. Gritty Gut. Also, a big shout out to one of the top performers, Bobby Bozer, who went 2 for 5 with 3 RBIs, including a clutch 2-run double in the 9th in their last game. So again, big shout out to them as well as we continue on, not just with Fortnite, but also with baseball later on. Don't forget, we're going to have Alabama versus the Florida Gators. The Crimson Tide will face off against the Gators in the series finale today at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And the hype is building both here in Fortnite and on the Diamond.
Oh, sweet home Alabama, or will it be the Florida boys to go ahead and do their thing? Not the Florida-Georgia line, but will they hold line and make sure that they continue to stack up their wins and win the series total? That's the question. Didn't win last night, but they can obviously turn around. Speaking of which, Mr. Giddy trying not to turn around until they're prepared. It looks like they're wearing their old skin, so it's looking like a reverse Uno, and it's also going to be a reverse Uno. Wait, hold on. Who's who? There's a Mr. Giddy Gut and another Mr. Giddy Gut. Who's the real Mr. Giddy Gut? Huh? I'm confused, Cap.
Well, right now, Mr. Giddy Gut sitting on 3 strikeouts. That's already an additional point. That is a 3-time strikeout, giving them a total of 4 points already. So off to a phenomenal start here in the 4th heat. As you can see on the elimination feed to the left, plenty of players are unfortunately finding their way out of the lobby. As we continue on, Mr. Giddy Gut finds a big old chug-a-lug-lug chug-jug, able to get back into a full standing. It looked like they were taking a couple of shots there, but I'm not sure from where.
Yeah, but like, it was Mr. Giddy Gut with the original Mr. Giddy Gut suit that ended up getting packed out by the Mr. Giddy Gut in the OG Fortnite skin. Who's the well, the real Mr. Giddy Gut, please stand up. I guess this one is the real one because this one is, of course, the frag leader, at least so far in this competition. And guess what? The game is undeniable. It doesn't matter if you end up being in this frame. The name stays true. Giddy Gut getting it done again. That's another strikeout for them. Zipper Die over here on the other side by the little boxcars.
Yep, here we are back in the Octane. You know, there's a saying in Rocket League that all roads lead back to the Octane because there are several vehicles in the Rocket League world, and Octane has been the longest standing meta in the game. And the Octane is without a doubt my favorite vehicle, and I just love to see it here in Fortnite.
Love to see it, babes. Love to see it. Zipper Die going ahead. It reminds me of the Toy Story cars so much. Zipper Die thought that they were going to do with the Mr. Giddy Gut strategy, so got out of dodge beforehand, but couldn't dodge the bullets, but because one death, if it isn't Mr. Giddy Gut, it's one death going ahead and stacking it up. That's another strikeout. The elims have been coming, and guess what? It's been strikeout, strikeout, strikeout. I hope that umpire is ready because they're going to be getting a lot of people out of here.
Yeah, and the second storm isn't even finished yet. You know, we're still very early on, and already half the lobby has been eliminated. I mean, that's some very quick work. Meanwhile, we're going back to Mildly Adequate, who has a blue blaster rifle, looking downrange, trying to find a read on at least one other player. They could definitely hear the ruckus going on right uphill as we check in on One Death. So far, One Death has 2 Grand Slams today. Looking to finish out strong before we head into that final heat.
Yeah, we are heading and approaching it. One death, already 3 strikeout to their name, right? So they get an additional bonus point. So that's 5-point totals right here going on. They have a great kit, right? They have a shotty. They go ahead and have a long range gun too. They have the ability to get out of dodge with the shocks. And they not only have shields, the fast shields and the smalls, but they also have the big ones as well that can provide with heals. Right now, One Death is feeling great. A total opposite kit that we saw them have the first heat in which they ironically won.
Yeah, and now you can see right now One Death looking to try and find another strikeout. As you can see, they are chasing down, trying to run them over as the Portafort comes out, and now One Death has to maneuver around to avoid the high ground. And this player is really just playing for an escape now, and it looks like they're going to be running into another player waiting in the wing and trying to get an easy pick here and an easy strikeout. But this one is going to go to One Death, who is able to take out Garrison.
Yeah, no, sometimes you end up running into somebody and you're like, oh, I could take this on. Yeah, you don't want to end up it being One Death or end up being Giddy Gut. Then you guess what? You're not going to do it. It's not going to happen. It's not going to get it done.
Now we're going to Hot Curry Carry, who has a read on another player, looking to get their first strikeout here of heat number 4, as they're going to give chase, looking to find this elimination, and are taking a lot of damage. Hot Curry Carry able to get the elim on 3 bad brews.
And I like that. Hot Curry Carry really just, you know, it's playing some spicy gameplay with only one great shield to the name. They still have a great gun, but it ended up being the great gun that ended up getting packed out. Speaking of packed out, look there at the top left. Valor ended up packing out One Death. They barely made the top 25, so we'll see if that ends up meaning that they do actually get those home run points. We have to double check to make sure we're the last packed out. But look at that. One Death already out. Will Mr. Giddy Gut get out too? That's the question. But it looks like at least one of our top leaderboard clients is out of the competition.
How about that? I mean, regardless though, One Death should have enough points to secure their position in the top 25. So again, they are going to be able to put themselves into the final heat and have those 15 and have the home run points as well. I'm nearly certain they have enough to do that. As we continue on here, as you can see, the third storm now going to be making its way on in. It has about a minute and 25 before it is complete. 20 players still remaining, as we see Hot Curry Carry able to get their first strikeout a little earlier, and now they are just waiting things out here at Outlaw Oasis.
Waiting it out, and really seeing how far they can go. As I talked about, like we're gonna see a lot of players stick around. We're only three storms in 20 players. A lot of players have been packed out because unfortunately a lot of players ended up going to the same location. But I feel like this is where we're really gonna have these players that are gonna try to dodge smoke and stay alive. That's why Curry Carry has so many shock nades to their name. You look at this traversal. They're going ahead and like going like traversing through like the whole entire like section of the map in just a couple seconds. You want to make sure that you have that traversal to get out of dodge. The more this clock ticks on.
I mean, they have no shields and no heals, and honestly, you know, really all they have
Yeah.
to their name are those getaway nades, right? That's really all they really got going for them. I mean, they have an epic sniper rifle, but that's really not going to get the job done. Meanwhile, you have the Saucy Fry in the TIE Fighter, accompanied by Chewbacca.
I have to ask, Cap, you have your best Chewbacca impersonation?
No, I honestly, if I wasn't sick, maybe. And it's not necessarily that I'm sick, but you know, it's allergy season. My allergies are acting up too bad.
You know,
I guess that's the best one I could do.
oh, okay, let me give mine the college try. Oh, wait, no, it didn't work out. Hold up.
Hey, all that matters is that you tried. You gave it your best shot.
I gave it the old college try, right? That's why we're doing a collegiate tournament. We're trying out here. Maybe not thriving, but it looks like at least Chewbacca's having a good time on top of the team fighter. We're going to the lore, who actually, the lore about them, they packed out one of our leaders in one death right now. They have a great kit, actually, a sniper, long range, close range, and far away, as well mid-range with an assault rifle. Still doesn't matter.
And you know what? I think I've come to my decision on the prediction. I think I'm gonna go ahead and stick with it. I'm gonna go for the over. I'm gonna agree with you, Bordy. That's what I said the first time. It's not fair to change my answer. I'll go ahead and stick with the over. I'm going with over 25 points here in Heat 4 for the Grand Slam winner. As you can see, the Saucy Fry making a lot of use of this TIE Fighter. I mean, my goodness, they got 7 eliminations with the TIE Fighter. That is well, I don't know if that's all with the TIE Fighter, but still, I mean, this seems to be a really big advantage in a no-build mode.
Dude, and the Chewbacca noise it makes afterwards. I'm sorry, I've been chuckling the whole time. It is frying me. The fact that they are not only getting the eliminations, but they're going ahead and getting Chewie over here going with every win. I'm upset that this T-Fire doesn't go ahead and have Chewie on top of it too, because it just adds to the essence of the Saucy Fries game. But look at that, the amount of point totals. That's why I said anywhere from the top 20 to the top 60 can get massive movement with just a lot of eliminations, and the Saucy Fry should be firmly, I feel like, in our top 10, at least top 15, with having 70 elims to their name.
Yeah, and they managed to find like a brand new TIE Fighter, like completely full health. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I mean, this is getting the job done. This is why nobody's coming outside right now. They're trying to hide away from the TIE Fighter. Is that another elimination? Goes to Saucy Fry. That's 2. That is a 2-piece. I mean, my goodness, Saucy Fry. I mean, don't get me wrong. It seems a little cheesy. I will call it cheese. But, you know, it's getting the job done.
You know, everybody else is playing Fortnite, and he's playing Ace Combat right now, okay? He's playing Star Wars.
No, he's playing Battlefront.
I was going to say he's playing Star Wars Battlefront right now. The way that he's going ahead and using the TIE Fighter to manage. I cannot, again, underline the fact that, oh my gosh, the noise that is made is so hilarious by the Chewie. Finally outside of that TIE Fighter. That's great for locked in Gucci for 1 second, but unfortunately they can't last a second longer. At least the Saucy Fry can't go ahead and rain terror from above.
Saucy Fry looks at the TIE Fighter, says, nope, it's done. It's can't blame them. And now they're going to bust out a little dance, but they got somebody. I'm pretty sure somebody was right next to them. That was strange. Meanwhile, we're going to check in with Mildly Adequate, who is stuck. in a pretty difficult scenario right now. They have the low ground and they have the storm to their back.
Yeah, it's kind of like a pitcher, but bases loaded. Unfortunately, you're going against a top hitter, and you want to make sure that they don't go ahead and knock you out the park and mildly adequate. With only health packs to their name, at least they have to make sure their snipe game is good. It looks like their protection, unfortunately, is out of there. Their shield, which was basically a tree, is gone out the way, but it looks like their opponent's out the way too, which is great for them. They can go ahead, reset, recover, reposition themselves, and hopefully find some shields as well, because they need it.
Yeah, and they're also on the low side of the storm, so they have this entire timer to make their way back in. I mean, again, it's a, being on the slow side of the storm gives you a lot more wiggle room here. As you can see, the Saucy Fry, accompanied by Chewbacca, looking to find some more eliminations. They already got 10 to their name so far in Heat 4.
Bro, I don't know why Chewie is making me laugh so much, but he is right now. I wouldn't be laughing getting caught in the storm. Luckily, this is a weaker storm, only one tick. 9 players in a big storm. Right now, Saucy Fry can take their time, and Chewie can go ahead with the victory roar.
Well, there you go. Saucy Fry able to get some good loot there, some shields and heals, and set themselves right going into this next storm, Storm 6. Round 6, whatever you want to call it, getting ready to go underway again. Under 30 seconds now. So that storm begins to move again. Meanwhile, Wizard Candy trying to play towards the high ground and has a little bit to work with, but they are giving them their position away. As you can see, mildly adequate in the top left, able to put an end to Besset on M1. One of our previous Grand Slammers now eliminated here in Heat 4.
Yeah, Wizard Candy can take advantage of this, because they were somebody who was just outside this top 10. It seems like Chewie's in distress. That's because, guess what? Saucy Fry stressing the competition. Pressed out, packed out. Go ahead, you will not go home. Instead, you are out by the umpire, right? Guess what? They go into another Chewie, and that hot curry says, nah, it's cold. Saucy Fry survives again, but a third-party situation happening? Fourth party? I don't know.
Ain't no party like a third party.
Because it looks
Get
like
ready to move.
This fourth party's not stopping.
I mean, nobody's moving in on this. I mean, it's really spectacular. They're going to choose to stay with the Radicathy approach, and the more that they do it, the more I wish I maybe should have chose the under. Again, I was very indecisive on choosing the under over. I stuck with the over, though. I'm going to stick to it. And now Wizard Candy trying to find a read, as it looks as though they're going to have to back off as they made themselves a target in the process.
Yeah, going ahead and healing and shielding up, which we'd love to see from them. They're surviving another day. Every time we go to the Saucy Fry, something's popping off, something exploding. I hear Chewbacca in the corner roaring away. And guess what? Only 4 remain before we even get to the tiniest storm around. There's so much ground to cover here. Will we see more Ratty Cathies, or will we see more Packy slides home? More strikeouts? That's the question, because a lot has happened to the point to where there's so much ground than we're used to in this big battle royale.
Yeah, meanwhile, Saucy Fry still looking to pad the stats as they look to get their 15th strikeout, and they do, and that is a total of 5 3-time strikeouts. I think that is the most on the day.
Yeah.
5 extra points, that's 20. That is 20 points so far in a single match for the Saucy Fry.
Okay, Saucy Fry is making me learn something, because I didn't know you can just hit at the geyser in order to make sure that the geyser activates it. The only problem for the Saucy Fry, you don't want to be put in the sky too long. Maybe in casual play you can. This is tournament play, all right? The aim is true for a lot of these competitors, and they've taken hecka hits early on here. They're gonna have to heal up and do it quickly, because on the other side is somebody who wants to thrive and knock them out of the park. They're right there.
And now they are not. Wizard Candy gone. Only 1 player remains. And as you can see, if the Saucy Fry manages to get this last elimination and gets the Grand Slam, then Bordy, you and I would have been right about the over.
You know who I'm rooting for, baby. Let's go! I need the casters to be right. No curses around. But guess what? I'm pretty sure their competitor is cursing the fact that they're right next to each other before the storm even pops up. Saucy Fry gets it done in a saucy manner. Go ahead. Robot it out, my friend.
I mean, we got it. Just on this round alone, they have 26 points. So we were right to call the over. Look, Brag completed. There it is. It was the over 25. It was a bold call, but my goodness, Saucy Fry is just that bold. I mean, my goodness, with the Borderlands Psycho skin, it ranged true, and they managed to come away with a huge grand slam to end the 4th heat, the last of the qualifiers before we go to the final.
Going ahead and repairing my own robotic movements right here, because guess what? They were moving like they were an android. I said the Terminator earlier. I don't know, man. I feel like Skynet was all the way in them, right? They went ahead and we saw some great performance from Giddy Gut. Amazing performances from Giddy Gut. But as we load on up to our highlights, it's not going to be Giddy Gut that we're going to be seeing. We'll see a little bit earlier on, but it's going to be that masterful performance that we saw from that Psycho wearing the Borderline skin. It's an appropriate costume to have, an appropriate skin to have for this performance.
Yep. I mean, Saucy Fry definitely led the way there. And it's honestly with a lot of help from the TIE Fighter.
Yeah.
I mean, my goodness, they started out with the TIE Fighter. They literally ran it until it was destroyed and then found another one and then ran that one all the way into the ground as well. I mean, Saucy Fry, they definitely put in a lot of work here. As you can see, Mr. Giddy Gut going up against Fepster. And now Mr. Giddy Gut kills Mr. Giddy Gut. So again, that is confusing.
Yeah, the gut got get from the Giddy and did a gritty, I'm sure, on the gut to make sure that they get out of there. I don't know, right? I have no idea what was happening. There was a fake Giddy Gut, there was a real one, but I do know this, that after this Zipper die clip, we're probably going to see none other than one death who got out, and then it's just going to be the Sauce Fry show and affair, because ooh-wee, man, those fries were saucy, whether it be curry to banga, whether it be, I don't know, what else, barbecue sauce, ketchup, whatever. They were getting it done in tons of ways. You said 27 in one match alone. Ooh-wee, you just don't rock it to the top, rocket up the ranks. You might just rock it to the top, especially with having your friend Chewy there egging you on.
Yeah, this was just absolutely ridiculous. I'm surprised more people didn't focus in on this TIE Fighter, but I mean, as soon as they lost a TIE Fighter, they just picked up another one.
Yeah.
Again, this was just an absolute onslaught to the point where we said they weren't even playing Fork Knife anymore. They were playing Star Wars Battlefront.
Absolutely. They're playing Battlefront. Everybody else was just going ahead and playing Fortnite on the ground. Ooh-wee, yeah, I'm going to use my gun. Eventually, he ended up running out of the TIE Fighter, so did have to play the old traditional way. But even in the old way, was still getting it done in a saucy way as well. Outside of the shield, getting it outside of the air, outside of fish, underwater. Yeah, you're over water, you're over, up, out of here. The umpire said no more for you. And as we talked about, you want to make sure that you are not just you know, getting hot at the right time. You're coming up clutch in the right time. You talk about a pinch hitter, man, just coming through when the team needs it the most. That's exactly what Saucy Fry was.
Yeah, speaking of, we're going to be able to get an interview with Saucy Fry right after this quick short break. So don't go anywhere. We'll be right back with an interview with Saucy Fry here live at the Brag Gators Gauntlet. Do not go anywhere. We'll be right back.
to shine a light on historically black colleges and universities and provide a stage for black gamers to compete on. With over 140 signups, students from 30 plus HBCU schools across the nation competed for bragging rights and a chance to win a $15,000 scholarship.
Being a student and all, I got student loans.
It would actually help out like my family a lot because like right now like they have to work a lot so that they can pay for it.
Creme de la creme going at it.
We have to send a huge shout out to McDonald's, Coca-Cola, Bragg House, and Thurgood Marshall's College Fund for collaborating and putting together an amazing opportunity to shine a well-deserved spotlight for HBCU gamers. As you guys know, black representation in the game community is important for the future of the sport, and we look forward to seeing more HBCU gamers and diverse talent taking it to the next level in the future.
Today, we want to thank our partners for making this happen and send congratulations to our 3 lucky winners and the entire HBCU community. Brag on.
welcome on into the Brag Gators Gauntlet. We are here for the final heat, and there is some final heat up to come. But before we even get to the heat, though, I mean, we're getting hot. We're getting heated. We have to talk about the heat that just existed and just happened, and we have an interview coming up soon, don't we, Cap?
Yes, we most certainly do. Again, that last heat was very telling, to say the least, and it was Saucy that managed to come out and make a humongous impact with the TIE Fighter. Saucy. And with that being said, we actually do have an interview lined up with the Grand Slam winner themselves of the previous heat, Saucy, coming up very shortly, and we're going to be able to sit down with them and ask them a few questions and what their mindset is going into the final heat.
Absolutely. So without further ado, Saucy.
Hey.
What is going on, the Saucy Fry? How are you feeling? I mean, that was a big win.
Yeah, it was, I'm going to start off by saying the TIE Fighter is really broken. I
Agreed.
feel everybody's pain that died. But hey, I was just trying to win. I was having fun.
That was exactly what I was thinking the entire time, and I'm glad you answered the question before I had to ask it. Like, the TIE Fighter, OP or not, especially in a no-build setting.
Yeah, it's really tough to get around. I mean, you don't have any builds to, like, cover you, and it's just, if you're out in the open, even if you have a car, you're done for, as you saw. But really fun game. I'm glad I came out on top.
All right, so tell me a little bit about your Fortnite career. Are you a filthy casual like me? Are you, do you participate in tournaments? Do you rep your school? Like, do you play for collegiate? Like, what's the story there?
I don't really dude. I just play it casually. When I have time. I'm a biochem student at UF, so I really don't have a whole lot of time to play the game. But whenever I do, I just like to chill out with my friends and have fun. So.
All right, I noticed that you had the Psycho skin from Borderlands. Are you a Borderlands fan?
Yeah, I used to play it all the time. Love the games. But yeah, after that, it just kind of grew out on me. But I love the skin. It looks cool.
Oh, what this? Yeah, the skin is absolutely gnarly.
Yeah.
And you said that you go to UF later on, like right after this tournament. We're gonna be going to there's a game happening for baseball between the Florida Gators and Bama. I mean, what are your thoughts about that? Who's gonna be taking the dub tonight?
Gators all the way. I mean, we're just better. We're just better. I don't know what to say. I mean, come on. So.
Yeah, I mean, it's all about the Gator pride over there for sure.
Oh, yeah.
And trust me, I completely understand. Again, I'm not going to disclose my favorite going into that bout, because again, I'm going to spark a whole debate on it. But yeah, no, I completely understand the Gators there. Also, I want to ask you, I mean, there's prize money on the line. We're talking a share of $1,500. First place is $1,000 scholarship. I mean, if you win, what are you going to do with that?
I mean, honestly, it's just fun's going to school. I'm not gonna do anything stupid with it. I'm maybe looking to be a grad student, so maybe to fund that. But yeah, I just use it for school. Just keep on grinding.
Another thing I want to ask you is that, throughout the tournament, we've been seeing a lot of big names, making waves, from the first heat to the fourth heat. Again, Mr. Gritty Gut, we got to see One Death. We saw a lot of players, and we didn't really see you pop off until the very last heat. I don't know where you got 27 points in one game. I'm pretty sure that is the most that we have had all day in a single heat. Where have you been?
I was sleeping the first 3 games. It was a really rough start. But I just, I adapted, and I figured out a way, and I got the win. So that's all that matters. I just locked in.
Yeah, speaking of, we're getting ready to go into the final heat. I gotta ask, if we see a TIE Fighter up above, should we assume you're in it? Like, is that gonna be you? Are you gonna be in the TIE Fighter?
If I am, just hope for the best. That's all I'm going to say.
All right, well, before I let you go, I'm going to give you a moment to, give any shout-outs, make any statements to the rest of the players in the tournament. Anybody that you want to give some attention to, the floor is yours.
So I first off want to start off. My parents are actually watching right now, which is awesome. Great support. My girl is actually watching as well. So, I got a lot of supporters watching me. I think my friends are actually watching me too. So big shout out to them. It's great knowing I have people to support me while I'm playing. So, yeah.
No, I appreciate that. And again, big shout out to the parents and everybody that makes this effort possible, especially for a lot of young, inspiring esport athletes out there. Big shout out to all the support. I mean, the only person who watches me play video games is my cat. So I can tell you that, you know, having that extra layer of support definitely goes a long way. But thank you again, Saucy Fry, for sitting down and talking with me.
Of course, of course.
Good luck in the final heat. And with that, we're going to bring Boardy McBoard back on the desk and take a look at this leaderboard. Look at this. We said the Saucy Fry was going to make huge leaps on the leaderboard, but they went ahead and jumped over the entire leaderboard, taking first place.
31 strikeouts, and he said, hey man, it's nice to have the support from the parents, the girlfriend. Don't forget about Chewy too, okay? Chewbacca did their thing, at least getting some primal battle cries to make sure that they got their 31 strikeouts. Mr. Giddy Gut, who we saw reign over the competition, now at the second point total. But then we also have players like Acer, players like Pansy Eater, people like Morgan, who we've seen do their thing. Guess what? They're hanging around here for the final heat, in which point totals will reset.
Yep, that they will. And we do have our top 25 shaping out now. And again, friendly reminder that you get the 15 points for placing in the top 25 across all 4 heats. So don't forget, there's extra points to be had going into the final heat. That's going to be a big advantage. As you can see, it will be Fortnite Unite 64, rounding out our 25th spot. Sticky.
Fortnite Auntie.
Flash. Oh, Fortnite Auntie. Oh, I thought that was Fortnite Unite. My bad. Auntie 64. Sticky, Flashes, Lois Angel, and Y4 are going to be the 5 players to clinch it going into the final heat, coming up in just a couple of minutes.
No, and I just wanted to point out Fortnite Auntie because, you know, as we age a little bit, unfortunately, Cap, I feel like for a lot of these gamers, we're at the Unkin Auntie status right now, okay? So Fortnite Auntie, doing it for the aunties out there. I really want to know if they're like an alum, a grad, or something like that, to make sure that they're doing their thing and repping for the people with the grays in their hair. But all of you all were probably stressing so much you had grays in here. Now it's time to announce the raffle winners, of which we have plenty in this chat. I know all of you guys were waiting for. Guess what? Here are our winners: Diatomic Morgan, Zurvi, 26 Suki, M Soku, Ikenik, Pops Alien, Glare Petch, Jay Derby, Jay Birdie, I apologize, and Ravenous Pig, going ahead and closing out the raffle winners for our Brag Gators Gauntlet. And Cap, I said that just so you wouldn't have to struggle with the names like I was.
Oh, what? No, I mean, honestly, I wouldn't have gotten half of those names correct. I mean, there's a lot going on there. But regardless, congratulations to all of our winners. Each winner getting $25. And that right there might get you like a quarter tank of gas. Regardless, that quarter tank of gas is going to be on us. All right, so there you go. $25 to all of our raffle winners. A big congratulations.
Hey, you know, I just refilled the other day, and maybe it's where I'm at, but I was able to get a half a tank there, you know, with 20. So hopefully for some people, especially for all of you people who are blessed with like hybrids, hopefully that might be a full one, right? But we will say this, right? We are approaching towards the end of the contest. We do have the final heat coming up. But chat, I have to ask you, and also Cap yourself, right? We have final brags to talk about. We have The final game total to talk about. Obviously, we're doing this as a precursor to the Gators versus Crimson Tide matchup coming up soon. Cap, I think we talked about the fact that we're feeling Florida, but chat, I wonder, who are y'all feeling who will walk away with the victory and the dub? I mean, Cap, you could talk a little bit more about, UF probably going to do their thing, or at least we hope so.
Well, all I'm going to say is that everyone that we have interviewed so far and got a chance to talk to all said UF, all said the Gators are going to take it home, and I have no reason to disagree. I'm going to go with, the experts here. I'm going to go with the majority opinion that we've gotten on the desk. They go with the Gators. I got to go with them too.
Yeah, okay, all right. So we're seeing if chat says anything about the Gators. Any Gators in there? Not quite. It seems like we're still reacting to the raffle here. So chat, I need to know, who do you feel will walk away with it? We got a lot of UF fans in the building. Any Crimson Tide elephants, I guess. Usually with the Tide, we rarely talk about their mascot, but shout out to the Tide doing their thing.
Because it doesn't make sense.
It doesn't.
That's why no one talks about it, because it doesn't make sense. Yeah, Roll Tide elephants. Is Roll Tide the name of the elephant? Why isn't it the elephant crimson? It doesn't make sense. That's why no one talks about the mascot. And they don't even have like a logo. It's just maroon.
It's just an A, honestly. It's just a maroon A, honestly. You know what? Maybe the elephant's in the water and they're creating a tide and the water happens to be red. It would make sense for like a rhino, not necessarily an elephant.
Elephants are not native to Alabama. It makes no sense. It doesn't make any sense.
Well,
like, prime example, tigers are not native to Louisiana.
They're not.
So you know what we did? We went out, we got a tiger, and we brought one.
Yeah.
We brought one home.
Texas does
So
the
now
same
we
thing.
have a tiger. Alabama does not have an elephant.
Even the Huskies in Yukon, they go ahead, they bring a husky, right? That's not native to them. You gotta be creative, okay? I need an elephant in Alabama, okay? Or at least for the zoo. Speaking of, I want to also know from you guys, chat as well, not only about the baseball game. Please tell me, we have upcoming tournaments happening, and we want to know an idea for a theme to have this upcoming summer. I mean, summer is a great time, Cap, for tons of events, but I would love to do, something pool related, NBA finals, WNBA happens there, maybe some 2K action going on. I don't know. I'm just throwing ideas out there. What do you imagine? What do you see in your vision when you think of summer and you think about these tournament games,
Marvel Rivals.
Oh my gosh, I would love to see Marvel Rivals.
Yeah, 100% Marvel Rivals. That's what because that's what I'm currently on. Like, that's where I'm having my fun. So I would love to do some Marvel Rivals. But I mean, we're talking about, and again, we were talking about the mascots. Like Louisiana, we went and got a tiger. The Husky, they went and got a husky. The Georgia Bulldogs, they knocked on someone's door that happened to have a bulldog.
Right, yeah.
And then they kidnapped it. Whatever. I'm just gonna say, for the mascots that don't make sense, like there's not one the Alabama doesn't have an elephant. Do you want to count how many gators Florida has?
About 350. You know what I mean? They have so many. Anything is so they just hang outside on the on the corner. You know what I mean? Maybe we can find a game in which you avoid things like Fall Guys, and then we reintegrate. Shout out to Florida Gators starting our partnership along with Learfield, the Florida Athletics, creating this partnership here at Brag House. All right, we play Fall Guys, and then the theme is evading the Gators because, there are tons of Gators in Florida, and if I see one, I don't care how docile allegedly they are, I don't want to see one. I don't want to see one of our prehistoric dinosaurs. They are literally dinosaurs walking on Earth. I don't need to see that, I'm good with that.
Yeah, they definitely are. And now that you mention it, Fall Guys would make for a nice like summer game. But I gotta tell you, I can't remember the last time I played Fall Guys. It's been so long.
Yeah, no. And we have somebody like Nate Stepp that was like, hey, let's go with Marvel Rivals. That's picking up a lot of steam, okay? We have a couple people like Beast Nation, Lavender Lizard, Mick Care, going ahead, Mac Air, I apologize. Shout out to Mac Air. We saw them earlier on in this competition. Say, go Gators, man. The Gators are gonna go ahead and win. So we love the UF fan base doing their thing, and also to chat, go ahead and do your shout outs, okay? Obviously, we're talking about summer games, but we want to hear from you, and we want to hear who are some people that made sure that you're here possible. I love the fact that you were just doing your interview, Cap, and you were talking a little bit with a Saucy Fry, and he mentioned the fact that, hey, girlfriend and mom is out there supporting and doing their thing. Hey, I would not be in this career without my mom going ahead and supporting me, and tons of other people on my stream as well. Shout out to everybody who follows me on Twitch, Boarding Board, and everybody in my personal life too that made sure that I'm here possible. Kimiko Ware, there's tons of people who are here. Jaquita Thomas, you, Cap, because we've done so much with this. Jalen over here in production, the whole E-Showing team. You need support, and I want to hear about your support and your shout out chat, and also from you, Cap, as well.
I mean, for me, it's definitely my mom, because like, she has mom goggles. So like anything that I do to her is immediately like the greatest thing.
Yeah.
Since, like, I don't know, ever. Like that's
Our
the
real
kind of mom
superhero.
I have. Like as long as I'm doing it, then it's like the best thing ever, So like I was like, you know what, mom, I'm gonna yell at video games for a living. She's like, bet. Yeah,
Right,
do that.
yeah,
Do
you
all
know?
of that. I want you to yell at those videos games so much, but also
Loud
again,
as
I gotta shout out my wife, because not many significant others would have the patience not only to deal with me, but to deal with me yelling at a monitor at given all hours of the day. So again, big shout out to my wife for tolerating it. Yeah, so again, great big support system. Again, everybody here at Brag House and Ashani. Again, this is like the best group, the best esports production group I've ever been a part of. But with that being said, big shout out to and thank you to everybody, of course, for those in the chat. We're getting ready to take a quick break, but don't you worry, when we come back, we will be back with the final heat of the Brag Gators Gauntlet.
What's up, everybody? This is FaZe Jason from FaZe Clan. Me and the rest of the team want to send a warm congratulations to the grand champions of the first ever McDonald's Black and Positively Golden Gamers, presented by Coca-Cola HBCU Tournament.
It won't be enough to outlive Dre's daddy. We'll get the elimination for Wixu. I told you already, Justlo is just different.
Props to you for crushing it and taking home the trophy and a $15,000 scholarship.
It's a wonderful time to be alive.
That felt like it was out of an action movie.
In the past few months, Brag House, McDonald's, and Coca-Cola have come together to shine a light on historically black colleges and universities and provide a stage for black gamers to compete on. With over 140 signups, students from 30 plus HBCU schools across the nation competed for bragging rights and a chance to win a $15,000 scholarship.
Being a student and all, I got student loans.
It would actually help out like my family a lot because like right now like they have to work a lot so that they can pay for it.
Creme de la creme going at it.
We have to send a huge shout out to McDonald's, Coca-Cola, Brag House, and Thurgood Marshall's College Fund for collaborating and putting together an amazing opportunity to shine a well-deserved spotlight for HBCU gamers. As you guys know, black representation in the game community is important for the future of the sport, and we look forward to seeing more HBCU gamers and diverse talent taking it to the next level in the future.
Today, we want to thank our partners for making this happen and send congratulations to our 3 lucky winners and the entire HBCU community. Brag on.
Take me out to the ball game. Take me out to the fun. We are here for the Brag Gators Gauntlet boarding report. Captain Ahsoka. Only one more heat to go, the final heat. And we are here to celebrate who exactly is going to walk away with up to $1,500 worth of prizes, $1,000, $300, or $200 for the top three. It's all going to be decided in this next matchup, Cap.
Yep, that it will. We are going into the final heat, so that means 50% of our previous lobby has been cut.
Bye-bye.
They did not make the cut to go into the final heat. We're going to have our top 50 going to be moving on into the final heat. And of course, the top 25 are going to be getting 15 extra points for earning their place in the top 25 across all 4 previous heats. As we get ready to go into the final heat, let's take a look one more time at our leaderboard. Boardy McBoard.
Oh, yes. You know, one thing about me, I love boards, okay? Whether it being bored or whether it be the things that actually show you what's going on. And Saucy Fry started at the bottom. Now he's here at the top, 31 strikeouts. Gritty, Mr. Giddy Gut got good. And guess what? They're in second. One death also there. Other people that we've mentioned and seen. Wizard Candy, Be Set, Pops Alien somehow with no strikeouts, just getting to the final. Hey, it's about serendipity and also about just making sure you stay alive, Cap.
Yep, just a little bit of that serendipity. But with that being said, the points have been reset. Okay, we have discussed this. We have talked about this, especially for our top 25 that managed to, stay consistent through all 4 heats as we get ready to go into our last heat. So it's anybody's game for the most part. Anybody has a chance to come in and steal. But right now, my eyes are definitely going to be on Mr. Giddy Gut because they have been consistent throughout the day. Of course, one death. I'm going to be keeping my eye on them as well because they have the most grand slams today.
Yeah.
But also, got to keep in mind Saucy, because Saucy has the most strikeouts today and the most points in a single match. And honestly, if I were them, I would just continue with the TIE Fighter. Go TIE Fighter. I mean, it absolutely destroyed the previous lobby. I say run it back.
Oh no, because we have to remember, what is this game all about? Celebrating not only our amazing partnership, right? We are blessed to be here with the help of Gator Athletics and Learfield in order to celebrate this upcoming matchup, the end of the series between the Gators and, of course, Alabama Crimson Tide baseball, of course, leading into the SEC championship, which will be this upcoming week here in Hoover, Alabama. But also, too, momentum swings, right? Last game, we saw Bama have a 5-run 5th inning that totally turned the tide of that baseball game in order to secure a victory. That's high key, not even low key, exactly what Saucy Fry did in order to make sure that they ended up at the top. So will we have another momentum swing loading on in? I don't know, but a lot of people are going to be swinging, and hopefully they don't end up getting struck out and instead get the strikeouts in order to make sure they can secure the victory, Cap.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm ready to get into our final heat of the day. And without further ado, here we are. The top 47 now competing for our first, second, and third place spots in order to take some of the scholarship money home as we are flying in on the big blue bus of destiny right into our final heat. Let's see how this will go down. Don't forget about our brags, by the way. The current brags are who is going to come away with the last limb in the final heat. What gets the last limb in the final heat? Is it going to be the Shoddy, the AR, SMG, Sniper Pistol, Explosive Other, or will it be a self-a-limb? Get those brags in now.
I'm not going to place a bet on it, but I will say the self-elim, man, if that one ends up happening, if that's the brag that ends up getting out and winning, ooh, man, it's going to hurt hard. That's going to be indigestion, you know what I mean? A lot of indigestion.
Yeah, I mean, I'm trying to think right now, and I think I gotta go. I'm gonna go Shoddy. That's where I'm going. I mean, I'm
Shoddy.
seeing so many limbs with the shot. I'm gonna go shoddy. That's where my brag is gonna be.
You know what? I want to say that we get an explosive. Let's finish off with some fireworks, okay? Let's see something explosive. Maybe not a TIE fighter, but we'll see something explosive fireworks going off here to end on off for our final heat of competition here. And who else but Wizard Candy? I love the exclamation point at the end. Going ahead and loading up on their kit. They have some long range and short range options. So a pretty okay kit here, at least for your first drop. Not seeing a lot of players because we're probably not going to see players stacked on top of each other until we start getting to the second, third circle.
All right, Bordy, I'm gonna test your Star Wars trivia a little bit here. What planet is this current area that Wizard Candy is in based on?
Mars.
Which planet? No. This is Star Wars. Mars is not in
Star. Oh, you mean
this is a
the
galaxy.
Star Wars galaxy? I thought you meant like
Yes.
related to our galaxy that was in Star Wars as a basis. It's the one. Okay, I'll be honest. I've never seen Star Wars.
All right, I'll give you. Oh, you've never seen Star Wars?
I've never seen
oh,
Star
well,
Wars. But I will say, is it the one where
Come
Luke
on.
sees in the background there's two moons? Like this one has two moons to his name, right?
It's two suns.
Two suns. Okay, I was close. For me to
Yes.
not know, that was a little bit closer than I even thought I would be. To be honest.
Fine. The answer is Tatooine. Tatooine is the correct answer.
That was a major part of that Star Wars game that came out, right? Like
It's a
your base
major
set?
part of Star Wars. This is where Anakin was born. This is where Luke lived.
I know.
This is where Luke is from.
I know I'm getting
Tatooine.
Every single Star Wars fan, including Cap, which I know he's a big one, a little bit heated. Hey, guess what? I was supposed to see it May 4th with one of my friends. Unfortunately, couldn't get it done. It's been a couple years now. So at this point, I feel like I need to, for my own nerddom's sake, I need to be better at Star Wars and Star Trek, you know? Like, you have to watch at least one.
No. We do not do Star Trek.
Why is it that all Star Wars and Star Trek fans, they hate each other? Can there be no love for both stars? The solar system is big, you know?
No. Not big enough for the both of us. Not in this galaxy.
Even the producers is getting on me and saying, no, this is crazy, guys.
No. We do not associate with those people.
Oh, man. Okay, we will not live long and prosper, apparently.
No!
Saucy Fry has lived a long time in a lot of these competitions. Will he end up
keep
prospering?
talking that Trek. You keep talking that Trek talk here in Star Wars. This is Star Wars Fortnite. This isn't Star Trek Fortnite. You keep talking that Trek stuff. You ain't gonna be living long enough to prosper. You dig?
I am live long with the Force. I'm not. Will I?
That's not it at all.
Wait, no. I'm making fun of how he sounds. Right? Is it not how he ever sounds?
No, it is. He does talk in kind of like broken English, but what you said made no sense at all.
Hey man, that's part of me, baby. I don't make sense most of the time, and yet they still keep on giving me jobs. I love to see it right now.
I love how everybody's jumping in vehicles right now. Like two TIE fighters and now a backfire just all in play right now.
It's meta, right? When you see somebody win with one vehicle, you say, hey man, this means that vehicle's on the metal. That's the move. You jump gears and you're jumping people not only in TIE fighters but also on the ground too. It's an effective strategy, and it looks like lock-in Gucci needs to lock in not to get packed out from this, man.
Dude, Saucy has opened the biggest can of worms. Because now everybody's gonna go TIE fighter.
Meta maker, okay? We love to see it.
This is gonna get spicy. I need to see a TIE fighter dogfight. I need to see like TIE fighter v TIE fighter.
You know?
That's what we need.
Lord forbid they end up getting in an X-wing, then things are just going to get even more spicy. Then again, we're going straight to Battle Royale, okay? We are not playing Fortnite anymore, right? Lock-in Gucci right now is in a terrible position. They're locked into a rock in a hard place. and their weak point is being attacked for massive damage right here. They're trying to drive away from the pressure of this TIE fighter, and they can't get it done. They need to get to a cave expeditiously.
Is that a Fallout vault?
We're having everything here, okay?
Wait, I was about to say, wait, hold on. Call me if I'm tripping, but here comes Duckley, along with Darth Vader. But that looked exactly like a Fallout vault.
Yeah, hopefully.
It had a number on it and everything.
Hopefully not Fallout Vault. What was it, 131? I believe,
well, you know what?
the original one?
Well, hang on. I did see a Pip-Boy earlier. Someone had a Pip-Boy backpack, so I am thinking that was a Fallout shelter.
Oh, well, you know, probably around the time that Fallout show was popular, I would imagine that they went ahead and integrated a Fallout theme because Pip-Boys are good, and Fallout's always a good classic. You know, one of my top 5 games in the world, Fallout 5, Fallout 3. I apologize. So I would love to see it. I'd love to see that from Mac Air too.
Look at Mr. Giddy Gut getting in there with some eliminations, but also the Fallout show was actually really good too. No, Mr. Giddy Gut, no! This is the worst possible scenario for everyone in this lobby. Mr. Giddy Gut now trying to get in a TIE fighter, but it's stuck. The TIE fighter is stuck.
He's Mr. Sticky Stuck, okay, right now. He's really trying to go ahead and cheese the whole lobby with going ahead and using that TIE fighter. And unfortunately, the cheese is not with him. The force was, at least on the ground, not the cheese. And can't get it done. Usually he can flip vehicles and get them out of weird positions. It's just not happening for Mr. Giddy Gut right now.
Yeah, apparently in a galaxy far, far away, they don't have the technology to go in reverse.
We don't get that until at least 3,000 years into the future, you know?
Yeah. Apparently, and it's also because Star Wars actually takes place millions of years ago.
Yeah.
Just in a galaxy far, far away.
Yeah, well, we need at least 3 more thousand to get the second patch installed and make sure that we can actually go in reverse too. We haven't learned that in the galaxy far, far away and millions of light years away as well. We are right away to the bush tactics, unfortunately, or fortunately for Pablo, because they still have 4 eliminations to the name. Even Wilts camping in that bush, man, which is actually pretty impressive to see.
Yeah, not to mention the dub is up for grabs. You got to keep in mind, like, it could be like a completely random person that we haven't even really paid attention to this entire time ends up coming out and taking the dub. You know what I mean? Like, they can steal this game away because all the other heats, you know, they're not as impactful as this one. This is the end all be all heat right here.
Yes, it is the end all be all. Who will take it all? Just like we'll see who will take it all tonight. Crimson Gators and Crimson Tide and the Gators going against each other. The Crimson Gators, that's what will happen when the UF ends up walking away with it. Their head will be bloody, but not unbowed, okay? Because that's who I'm picking to win this matchup. Again, chat, make sure you're saying where your allegiances lie, who's going to end up winning this baseball game that starts at 4 p.m. right now, actually. Right now, Pablo is doing their thing, and they ditch the bush tactics. They're going for real, unmitigated, I guess, grenades to the wall action right here.
Oh, here we go. Now, this is what we're talking about.
Yes,
this is classic Empire versus Rebellion. You got an X-Fighter taking on a TIE Fighter. You got the X-Wing taking on a TIE Fighter. And right now, oh wait, we see a hijacking? Is that what's happening? Is that a hijacking? As the X-Wing goes down, and now Pansy here getting obliterated by Duckley. Oh my.
Even Vader couldn't believe it right there, turning and flipping the situation on its head. Seaside Pirates is just sitting here, living on the throne, just enjoying themselves. Again, everybody's up into the sky. I love to see it. Let's introduce some chaos here into the final bout of action here for our Brag Gators Gauntlet. We're up in the sky, we're flying high, and so is the person eating Wester is chasing after right now.
I wouldn't have got out the TIE Fighter. Look, they're going back for it. They're going back for the TIE Fighter. And now we're right next to this downed AT-AT. And they're running back for the TIE Fighter. This is why you don't get out of the TIE Fighter. Because of this. Now you're TIE Fighter-less. And now you're gonna die. Yeah, E-Wester, you know, they pooped the bed. They 100% pooped. You should have never chased. Should have never got out of the TIE Fighter. Now look at you.
You gotta know when to hold them, and then or not, you're gonna fold them, right? And so you had a prime opportunity. Keep your vehicles. We've seen it in this particular last 2 games especially, the vehicles are what matter. They're the meta, and that's how you go ahead and do your thing and survive another day. Mr. Giddy Gut, again, a little bit of a miscalculation going ahead and using that squirt right before you use your health back, so you don't get the shield bonus, but they ended up running right into another big shield anyway, so I guess it all worked out, you know, getting the glug after flubbing the health meta there.
Right, you gotta trust your instinct and go with your gut. I trust Mr. Giddy Gut here.
You trust your gut?
I'm gonna trust my gut, and I'm gonna trust Mr. Giddy Gut, and I'm gonna believe in the process. Because Mr. Giddy Gut so far has just been, you know, absolutely phenomenal, and only outdone by Saucy, need I mind you. Oh, and now okay, so this is a tactic. Okay, so you have one person driving, right? And now everybody tries to avoid the danger. And I guess the best way to avoid the danger is to get inside of the vehicle. Get wrecked.
I don't know. On God was
that had
over
to be
here.
The best carjacking in history.
Dude, On God was literally going for a stroll for like half of the matchup, you know? Everybody else has been vehicles, and they've been going ahead using the TIE Fighters, or at least using the vehicles to escape the TIE Fighters and the X-Wings. Literally, On God was on the stroll for this last little heat, okay? He wasn't over here trying to get eliminations. He was just over here like Sunday stroll, you know what I mean? A day early. Why not, On God? I'd love to see it, I guess.
Why were there like 4 people in that vehicle? Like, I get it, you get in the vehicle. Well, they got in the vehicle so that way they couldn't get shot. Like, you can't drive and shoot at the same time, I don't think. So, like, yeah, it makes sense. Out of suit now, out of this lobby, they fall victim to Mr. Giddy Gut.
Yeah, but I mean, you do have to realize you're also going against your competitors as well. So I mean, I suppose it's kind of like Lord of the Flies, right? You guys want to stay alive. It's you against other people, or against the Hunger Games is a better analogy, right? You might be going against people, but it's good for you to have a cohort of people who band together. I'm not sure if that was the idea. Either way, Mr. Giddy Gut doesn't like any of that idea. Anytime he goes on a road trip with somebody, guess what? They're out of the park, okay? They're out into the lobby. You don't want to be on a road trip with them.
I want to see Mr. Giddy Gut like get a strikeout with this lightsaber. That's what I'm looking for right now.
To get out of here with the lightsaber. You know, we haven't seen a lot of that, unfortunately. People use the lightsaber to actually get the melee limbs, you know?
Yeah, well, I mean, we saw a couple of it, but they just kept dying. So,
yeah.
They kept getting struck out, but take a look at this. This is the other Giddy Gut. I don't like this. Who is this imposter?
Well, the real Mr. Giddy Gut, please stick your gut out, okay? You can't just put your hands up. You need to stick your gut out. That's how I know. Whose gut is the most giddy?
I don't know who this is.
I don't know who anybody is, honestly. And here we have the other.
There is an imposter.
Or the real one?
This is the real one. This is the
one I'm used to. This is home right now, okay?
Yes.
This is who we're used to. They're in their vehicle. They stopped messing around with the TIE Fighters, but they decided to pick up another car, which is interesting. We're over here with 150, so if you do a little bit of damage to this car, this beat up car that Mr. Giddy Gut has, you can go ahead and do massive damage to them, which is really good on a top player that not only has a chug to their name, they have shockwaves to their name, and they also have a legendary gun to their name as well. They're cooking right now, Mr. Giddy Gut. Or Gold Gun, I apologize.
A lot of loot. Yeah, I was about to say that is a lot of loot. Like, but yeah, that 100% sure is the real Giddy Gut. The other one is the Aldi brand. It's the Aldi version of Mr. Giddy Gut. As you can see right now, they are reining in the damage, trying to find yet another strikeout here, looking for their 6th, and thus securing 2 3-time strikeout bonuses. They're coming in with the shotty. Oh, Lord. As you can see, 1 death. Our two-time Grand Slammer now out.
All it takes is 1 death to be struck out of here, and thank you so much, but you will be seeing the Empire's thumb as you exit home plate. Unfortunately, Giddy Gut can't go ahead and get to home after swinging at bat. Will the real Mr. Giddy Gut, who we've seen right here, rack up not only the eliminations, which we've seen throughout the whole contest, can he actually get a crown and a dub? That's the biggest question with them, Cap.
Well, the thing with Mr. Giddy Gut is that we haven't seen them get a Grand Slam today. And there's been 4 heats. I mean, they've been racking up the eliminations like nobody's business. But we have yet to see them, get the Grand Slam. Speaking of, I'm wondering if Saucy is still in this lobby, considering that they had the most strikeouts in a single match. And, they were at the top of the leaderboard at the end of the final, at the end of the 4th heat. So I'm wondering how they're doing, because right now Mr. Giddy Gut is definitely making a strong case to taking the entire tournament.
No, and Mr. Giddy Gut is tracing that triple crown, right? You talked about the Grand Slam, the triple crown, not only leading in eliminations, but also, too, leading in points and walking away with the total victory. That's what they're chasing after, but Hot Curry Carry is trying to carry their self to a home plate as they go ahead and use the shockwave grenade to safely make it down to the ground to pack out Mr. Giddy Gut. What a clutch move right there.
Yeah, and that was the name brand Giddy Gut too. Oh, was that the name brand one?
I don't know at this point.
This is the name brand Giddy Gut.
Yeah.
This is the real one.
So it was fake Giddy Gut that you got, but couldn't get the real gut. So unfortunately, the fake gut got, but good gut still exists.
I'm not even going to pretend that I followed that. I didn't follow any. There was a lot going on there. All I know is that the real Mr. Giddy Gut still in play. 5 players left, and Mr. Giddy Gut is setting themselves up to win the entire tournament if they can continue to hold on. And you know what? I mean, and again, we haven't seen them get a Grand Slam all day. This could be that time where they get a grand. They get the Grand Slam, and I believe that's Tubular. Hiding there in the window. We had an interview with them earlier, and that was Tubular Wiz.
Not Tubular, dude. Not Tubular at all, unfortunately. Was stuck in using that rat tactics that we saw them do, right? Staying alive was the name of their game. But Mr. Giddy Gut does not want anybody to do well. They're chasing the strikeouts right now. And they struck out 8 players. Can they add another K to their game is the question.
I mean, I don't see why not. I mean, they got 8 strikeouts so far. Keep in mind, that's 2 3-time strikeouts, so that's going to be an additional 2 points. So they currently have a total of 10. All right, and there's 4 players left. I mean, if there's a time to hit a Grand Slam for Mr. Giddy Gut, it's now. This is it. Only 4 more players are in. I feel like that should be easy work for Mr. Giddy Gut.
But they've been in this position before with less than 5 players remaining, and unfortunately, they haven't been able to ice it any single time. Will they go ahead and get the yips, or will they carry it out? That's the question. But right now, we're looking like we're approaching a bases loaded situation. Who will be the pinch hitter?
Also, it's really funny that you mentioned that, because there are 4 people left, and when you hit a Grand Slam, you get 4 points. Not just in Fortnite, and not just at the Gators Gauntlet, but in baseball. A Grand Slam is 4 runs.
Oh, so literally they need to hit a Grand Slam in order to get the Grand Slam, but will they go ahead and get it? It's the question. Giddy Gut is looking around and seeing. I like this, having the high ground. Having the high ground is a big advantage, but unfortunately, it's looking like the circle is going to close in on a low ground, and not only that, an island. The same island that Giddy Gut got passed out in earlier in the, what was it, Heat 2 of the contest?
Yeah, this is going to be dangerous, because again, they don't have the high ground, but the circle is not favoring the high ground. So what must Giddy Gut do? As you can see, the timer now ticking away. Final circle going to be encroaching now, and now we see Mr. Giddy Gut taking fire for someone, taking shelter in a fortification just towards the northwest. Looking for, again, some type of opening. Looks like they're going to be going for the long flank here. They do have a read coming from downhill, but take a look. Their opponent has the high ground.
Low ground, high ground. Which ground will get it done? We've seen a low ground situation. Actually, oh, and you see right here, using the force to their side, Seaside Pirates is packed out by Mr. Giddy Gut, despite the fact that they don't have the ground advantage.
I don't even know how they keep using the Force. Is that something that comes with the lightsaber where you can like pick up rocks with the Force and throw them?
Yeah.
Like that's got to be a lightsaber ability, right?
Absolutely. And I'm surprised that we didn't see it a lot more in this action right here, using the Force to their advantage. It was a perfect timing to use that for Mr. Giddy Gut, especially because the other person had a portafort with them.
Yeah, I was about to say, now they get a free portafort. And now they're making like their own makeshift fortress.
Their own high ground, right? Which they were trying to chase after for the longest time.
And now here comes Mr. Giddy Gut. They have to avoid the danger. They have someone on their heels and at least one Ratty Cathy somewhere out there. Being oh so silent.
Silence is dangerous, okay? And Mr. Giddy Gut is just trying to figure out where exactly their other opponent is. They're on the edge of the old circle, approaching the new one. They see they're trying to third party the situation, or are they trying to make sure that they duke it out? I think that they're trying to make sure that those opponents duke it out with each other before they get involved, which might be a smart strategy for them just to survive another round.
Use the Force. As now, Mr. Giddy Gut does have a read on one, and I'm pretty sure they know where both of the final players are.
Yeah.
As once again, they're going to try and lay down some cover fire, able to get a couple of chip hits there. And it's very interesting to see that the weapon that they currently have has infinite ammo. Both of their weapons have infinite ammo. So that's nice to see.
You know, infinite ammo is great for them in the situation where like resources mean a lot in no build, right? I know you can get away, you can knock out people's protection with this unlimited ammo, but you have to make sure that you do it in a smart way so you don't end up putting yourself in dangerous situations. They have the Force on their side, revealing them to ooh-wee, bad sticky situation right there for that opponent, and they're out of there. That's Johan out.
Yep, now it's coming down to the 1v1. One player with the Force and a red lightsaber in hand, able to outmaneuver their opponent here. Putting their back up against the wall, looking in a little bit of danger here. Mr. Giddy Gut using the Force, going up against the bubble shield now, raining in with the shoddy. Make my brag come true. Was that a shoddy?
Whoa!
Did they use the shoddy?
Whoa! Giddy Gut went for the gold, and Giddy Gut gets got flaky like you predicted. Wins the tournament. It wasn't Giddy Gut. It wasn't a name we're familiar with like One Dat. Vlacky gets it done, and they are the winner of the Brag Gators Gauntlet.
Well, hang on. I don't know if they're winner of the Gator Gauntlet because they only got 6 points. They only got 6 points. They only had 2 strikeouts. Yes. They didn't even get a 3-time strikeout, so they have the Grand Slam for 4 points plus their 2. That's 6. Mr. Giddy Gut finished second and had bare minimum 11 points.
Ooh.
Bare minimum, because they had 2 3-time strikeouts.
I forgot that it wasn't the crown winner. It's the point winner. We are confirming the winner right now and calculating the total. But Cap is maybe Giddy Gut still clutched at the end.
I'm nearly certain Giddy Gut was able to take that. Nearly certain. They had way more strikeouts. They had 2 3-time strikeouts, at least 2 strikeouts. So that's an additional 2 points on top of their points, and they managed to finish second. I'm thinking Giddy Gut took that one. I really do.
Well, while we're tallying the totals, carry the 2 minus the 4, we are going to go ahead and throw it back to the action in which we saw a throwback all the way to where we are seeing the Fallout shelters, right? Mac Air did their thing in this tournament. Unfortunately, couldn't get it done. It was the meta that we saw that was actually started by Saucy. The planes, trains, and automobiles were everywhere on this map, Cat.
Yeah, and you know what? I think it was the vehicle meta that we saw. I guess really not so meta because that's not how it ended, right? But regardless, I think it was the vehicle frenzy that we saw, like everybody vying for the vehicles, which ultimately led to a lot of players' downfalls. Like here, prime example, they tried to jump Giddy Gut inside the SUV. inside the Escalade. It did not work out for them. They relied too much on the vehicles, and it looked like Mr. Giddy Gut on several occasions took advantage of that.
Yeah, on God, again, I don't know what, going out for a stroll, right? Some people use the vehicle tactics to go ahead and stack up eliminations. Some people just wanted to kick a town out for the ride, right? I think Giddy Gut did a little bit of both. Obviously tried to get that TIE fighter going, but with always being the buddy passenger in a long road trip, or I should say short road trips, because unfortunately it wouldn't last long until they found a way to creep up on you. Speaking of creeping up on you, Hot Curry Carry did their thing, but fortunately, who else but Giddy Gut got them out.
Yep, and here we are. And this is when we had our Mr. Giddy Gut doppelgangers as well, because we had our name brand Giddy Gut, and then we had the Aldi brand Giddy Gut. As you can see, I mean, they just absolutely had a field day. Even though they didn't end up getting, you know, the Grand Slam, they were just piling on stats. I mean, look at this. They did have a total of 10, okay, plus 2. That's 12 points. That is 12 points to the 6. And we do now have confirmation that, as a matter of fact, Mr. Giddy Gut will be your Brag Gators Gauntlet champion.
Giddy Gut good. You know what? Unfortunately for them, they had not been able to get that elusive crown, right? The elusive Grand Slam. But as I talked about, it's not about hitting it out the park every single time that you're on base. It's about making sure you stack those RBIs. And in this case, it was the strikeouts instead, man. I'm telling you, pitching every way. Slide hit. We're going ahead. We're getting you with a slider. We're getting you with a curveball. We're going straight down with the fastball. They eliminated players not just occasionally here and there. They did it quickly in a hurry. And ooh, they made sure that everyone felt it.
Yeah, absolutely. It's not all about the slugging average, not all about the grand slams. At the end of the day, it's about consistency. It's about OBP, on base percentage. And I got to tell you, I mean, Mr. Giddy Gut, from the very beginning, we were watching out for them, and they were consistent all day throughout. And even though they hadn't had a single grand slam or victory royale, they still managed to take the entire tournament through the consistent strikeouts that they managed to get throughout the day. And now, without further ado, let's talk to the player themselves, Mr. Giddy Gut, now here and on the mic.
How's it going?
Finally putting the name to the face, Mr. Giddy Gut. Go ahead and introduce yourself, where you're from, what's your major, and geez, man, how does it feel to walk away with a victory?
It's pretty surreal. I mean, after those couple of those games where I was eliminated early, I was not feeling as confident, but going to the game, I knew I had to play for kills because that was what was going to make the difference. Getting those eliminations and adding up those points was what helped me secure the win there. I need to get those bunkers, and it just really helps my end game.
All right, Cap.
Oh, my bad. I thought you was going to take it.
Okay.
But regardless, okay. All right. Now, I'll get in on this because I got a lot of questions for Mr. Giddy Gut. Yeah, I need some information. Okay, first of all, I need to know what was going on throughout all day, all 4 heats, and including the final heat. You didn't get a single victory royale or grand slam, as we like to call it here at the Gators Gauntlet. So I gotta ask, was that the strategy? Were you
I was actually
just
trying to
go for the top frag in most of limbs? Like, what was the game plan?
The game plan was to win these games, but I couldn't do it. But the fact that the points from getting all the eliminations kept me in the top, I felt pretty confident that this was going to be a really good strategy going forward for the rest of the tournament, especially since I was eliminated early in the second heat. So that eliminated me from getting the opportunity to get the 15 points from making top 25. So at that point, my strategy immediately changes to getting as many eliminations as possible. And after that, going forward, it just made it my best strategy to win the event.
And it looked like you were confident with that strategy throughout it. I'm telling you, the aim was true. You must be a longtime Fortnite user. If not a longtime Fortnite user, you're just used to these shooting games in general, because I tell you, even if they were high up in the sky or they were even on a train, you were going ahead and still keeping that aim right down the line of sights and firing.
Yep, exactly. I mean, I started playing Warzone in 2020, got really good at that game. My brother got me into Fortnite, and I just I really enjoyed it. And this is the first competitive tournament that I was able to participate in, and I was happy to pull out the victory.
And, I need to ask because, when we talk about, competitive esports, competitions, things of that nature, a lot of thought goes into the setup. I need to ask, what is your setup like? Okay. Are you playing on the TV? Do you have like a PC setup? Or are you on the console? Come on, let us know the secret to the sauce that you're working with.
So it's not as crazy as you may think, but it's just a PlayStation 5 with a simple monitor and the DualSense Edge controller, and it works fantastically.
Do you have any special programming like button commands? It's a pro controller, so you can put your own button maps.
Yes.
Elaborate.
Button map. It's just using the back paddles is critical for just enhancing my movement, because movement in the game is so critical. Being able to move around, getting in and out of gunfights as quick as possible, just it makes you just hard to kill if you're moving around.
And, I also want to harp on, just the fact that this was a no build tournament. You came out on top, big victory. I need to ask, is this your preference to play no build versus build?
Yeah, I'm actually really bad at the build mode. I just, the no build, it kind of simulates the old Warzone where it's just gunfights and movement. So the whole build element I actually don't play that at all. So the fact that it was no build, I was like, this is an awesome opportunity for me to jump in and showcase my skill.
Hey, I'll say this. I shout out your movement tech, because I saw you. There was a time where you're like, you had nothing to your name, but you were still over here dodging shots, just jumping all around. Well, speaking of jumping all around, let's jump to the fact that Alabama is going to be playing against the Florida Gators a little bit later. You a baseball fan? And if so, or if not, man, who do you feel like is going to walk away with that victory?
It's the Gators all the way. I mean, you can't. We've had an unbelievable season, from playing well in football, the national championship this year in basketball. It's you can't go wrong with the Gators, no matter what.
Gators up all day. Cap, any other questions for him?
I mean, nothing really. I will ask one final question. We saw the lightsaber a lot. We saw you fight against other players with lightsabers. I gotta ask, what is your strategy with the lightsaber? Because as much as I've seen you have it in your arsenal, I didn't see you get any eliminations with it.
So not necessarily the eliminations, but the fact that you can use the force, moving rocks and the force lightning with some of the lightsabers. It's just those extra abilities that you get with it that give you a bit of an edge in a lot of situations where you may feel like you're at a disadvantage.
Yeah, well, guess what? You were never at a disadvantage. The movement was great. Dodging the lightsaber was great. Well, dodging the shots was great. And honestly, even though you didn't end up getting the crown, the Grand Slam, you end up walking away with the victory. Any last shout outs that you want to give to anybody here who's listening, or any statements?
It just shout out my brother, who really got me into the game, and just learning from him. It's just I would have not been able to do it without him. He's unbelievable at the game, and I picked up on his skill, and it's made me a fantastic player. And I like watching these YouTubers like Zemi and Nick A30, Cypher PK, all these other guys who do it really well, and you just pick up on their skills, and it's been fantastic.
All right. Well, Mr. Giddy Gut, before we go, say your name one more time and your major too as well.
All right.
For everyone.
So my name is Michael Yenchik. I'm a third-year student on the pre-med track studying nutritional sciences.
And guess what? You're the winner of the Brag Gator Gauntlet. So congratulations to you, Mr. Giddy Gut, and thank you for your time.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you, guys.
Absolutely. And Cap, what an amazing time that we had talking to Mr. Giddy Gut and also seeing their performance. This is the final tally. And of course, not only did the strikeouts help, but the bonus points helped as well. They were able to assert their dominance on the competition all throughout the tournament.
Yeah, I mean, it was a pretty one-sided victory, to be honest. I mean, throughout the 4 heats, don't get me wrong, there was some pretty stiff competition. But with that being said, I mean, Mr. Giddy Gut was consistent throughout, making the placements, making sure they got into the final heat, and then they ended up winning it with a 7 point differential. I mean, that is huge, especially when you look at the top 5. Look at the top 5. There's only a difference of 1 between each. As a matter of fact, you look at Vlacky and One Death. That's only a 1 point difference. One Death and Pablo, they managed to tie at 5 points apiece. And then On God with 4. I mean, it's all close throughout. It's all within 1 to 2 points until you get to that top spot. That's 7 between them and the closest player. I mean, that is what I call a commanding victory.
Commanding victory for sure, and it's not only Mr. Giddy Gut that's going to walk away with the dub. Flacky, Pablo, amongst others, are going to go be our second and third place winners. They're going to go ahead and walk away with scholarship money too. This is about making sure that the top 3 go away with a little something in their pocket. And guess what? It's a big something for Mr. Giddy Gut. But at the end of the day, anything is great when you're in college. Shout out to all these other lovely gamers who went ahead and did their thing too. Tons of great talent that we've seen all throughout this competition.
Oh, absolutely. Again, you got to keep in mind, we started with, 92 players, I believe, in a single round. I mean, it was absolutely phenomenal. And as we are wrapping up throughout the day, I mean, don't forget, we had a lot of other prizes as well. We got to see the raffles, we got to see the brags that were happening. Again, there was a lot to be won and a lot to be enjoyed by everyone, and not just the players, but the people watching at home, again, the people that support them. Again, it was just phenomenal. And as a matter of fact, we're taking a look now at our raffle winners.
Yes, because it wasn't only the gamers in the competition for the first, second, and third place who walked away with something in their pocket. Shout out to the raffle winners getting $25 each. Diatomic, Morgan, I'm assuming that's Curvy, 26 Suki, M Soku, Ekinik, Pops Alien, Glacier Petch, J Derby, and Ravenous Pig. Thank you guys so much for going ahead and making sure you're going ahead and hitting that exclamation point raffle. You're walking away with some change in your pocket. We're all winners here for these Brag House events. And let's shout out our biggest winners. It's our partners that made sure that this event was possible, Kat, because at the end of the day, we would be nothing here without our wonderful sponsors and partners to make sure that this event was possible.
Yeah, absolutely. Again, that is also just like a huge partnership in general, because we've been, working with Brag House for quite some time, and, we've been doing events like this for a few years now. So to be able to have, the big partnerships along with Brag House to partner up with Gator Athletics and Learfield, that's just 2 big supporters. So that way we can continue to do events like this. And again, just give a lot of, young student esport athletes the opportunity to showcase their skills on a platform like this. So again, big shout out to our sponsor just for being able to make that possible, and a big shout out to the partnership that we have between Brag House, Gator Athletics, and Learfield. And
if you are a student that wants to keep on with the get on with none other than Brag House, please go ahead and make sure to look out for more tournaments using the exclamation point Discord command in our chat. Join the Discord. Make sure that you can look out, go ahead to that tournament tab, and make sure that you're locked in for the future tournaments that we might have, and that might be hosted by none other than yours truly, Boarding McBoard and Captain at Soka. But without further ado, it's been a great time here for the Brag Gator Gauntlet, but now it's time for us to watch some baseball. All right, guys, go ahead and make sure that you're tuning in to the Alabama versus Florida Gator game that's happening on right now as we are speaking. It started at 4. Go ahead and switch your tunes, and we'll get up on out of here again. Boarding McBoard, Captain at Soka, thank you so much to Brag House, Learfield, and Gator Athletics to make sure this is possible. We'll see you at future tournaments. Until then, let's watch some ball.